Well, there we go. Alrighty. Suck off, you messy fuck. Sunday-based soccer mom stream. Perfect time. Also, I got back from a beer run. Oh, a beer run, you say, huh? Wow. I think we all are kind of having the same mindset. I got it 11 to 6 tomorrow mid-shift, so, you know, I figured we celebrate by doing the exact opposite of what I should do. I sense great fear in you, Husky. You have hate. Wait, hold on. Fuck. Okay. Alright, does this work? Okay. I sense great fear in you, Husky. You have hate. You have anger, but you don't use them. Bombinotic Bills. We're apparently having snow. Apparently.
Yeah, kind of ice, wet ice pellets, but such a wait for like
Plaid's gone downhill.
an hour for Austin, and
Plaid has gone downhill. They have some weird kiosk thing instead of in-store shopping. Safeway to the rescue. Safeway, wait, a weird kiosk thing? Wait, what the fuck did they do? Have they fully automated the Plaid pantry? They have fully automated the Plaid pantries. Fully automated Plaid pantry, yeah. Fully automated Plaid pantry. Watch the prequels again, which honestly, as I get older, I found myself enjoying the political themes of films. I mean, it's just kind of generic, like, themes, though. I mean, that's the problem with the prequels. Like, I mean, as much as people want to try to defend, like, oh, well, you know, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you know, they have a lot of this and that, but it's just like, I mean, essentially, it's just like, I mean, it's kind of Shakespearean, you know. It's not really anything unique or nothing. Though, considering what we have to work with as of lately with Disney running the running the head of the ship, like, yeah, I mean, it's a lot better. I'm just gonna be honest too. It's not to besmirch your fucking defense. I'm just saying. I mean, like, the political themes in the movies aren't necessarily like super, you know. Of course, the good guys in that case are kind of Lamau. It's like, how do we achieve maximum efficiency? I don't know, let's have a single poor worker run around getting stuff for people instead of people doing it themselves. Yeah. Honestly, our stores do that too for the delivery and go, where it's like you come in, you order your stuff online, and a worker comes around and, you know, picks it up for you. And then you show up, and they, you know, and then you go inside the store, pay for it, and you fucking, you know, give, you know, to your car, and they, you know, blah, 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 you know, the whole shebang. You know, so instead of, like, so basically, it's instead of, you know, just saying, hey, you know, get off your lazy ass and do it yourself, they're trying to maximize on the whole, like, hey, people are shopping online now, so let's have, you know, our employees basically be cogs in a machine by just doing the orders for people instead of actually just checking people out. You know, yeah, and honestly, it is very inefficient, but it's also what a lot of the modern hyper-capitalistic culture is now at this point, where it's just like, yeah, you know, people doing orders online and picking it up or having it delivered, okay. Have all of our workers just basically be like even more gregarious, like mules and shit. I ordered Domino's, but when I went to get my piece to get my pizzusi, there was pizzusi. What? There was only one person in the whole store running it. Damn, dude. 11-6 tomorrow. Which shop potentially Melty and I mean, I would only be able to really play pool. Like, if anyone was gonna have to get me, like, you know, a drink or anything like that, it'd probably be like, I'd probably pregame for sure. Like, I'd probably grab one brew and pregame that shit. But, yeah, it's possible. Now that I actually have a mid, so. Zuko, baby. You made a big mess of all your kibble, bro. What a dork. What a little dork. Just a little dork, baby. A little just sexy beats. Alright, hey, you're back. I'm doing pretty good now that I'm off work. It's possible to have one person running that. I work at Papa John's like 5 years ago, and it was difficult enough with 2 people. Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna be blunt. Yeah, like, welcome to what corporations think of people. Especially the fucking, like, corporations that handle a lot of the run-of-the-mill, like, lower end, very, like, you know, low wage paying type of jobs and shit, like Poppy John's, fucking Domino's, Safeway, like, all these type of things. Like, they basically expect, you know, people to, you know, have, like, you know, have these departments or have their stores run with a certain amount of people or a certain amount of efficiency. And with that, basically, you know, like, offer up, you know, pay and benefits and shit that aren't worth fucking working there for the most part. So you get, like, people who are just desperate, and they're not necessarily going to be there, you know, trying to make sure that things run efficiently. And, you know, by that point, essentially, you know, that entire workplace ends up getting a little bit more fucked. And at that rate, you know, you end up having a more inefficient type of workplace, and what the fuck are you going to be able to do? Expect, like, those couple people to do, like, the jobs of, like, 4 or 5 fucking people, but that's what they expect. They actually do. So our departments get heavily staffed to shit, and, you know, basically have to be by ourselves for, like, you know, 30, 40 minutes, give or take, depending on, you know, people's lunches and shit. And, you know, depending on how busy it is, get to hear people be like, why aren't you having more people, this and that, blah, 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 blah. It's like, because our company sucks because they don't offer decent fucking wages or benefits for people to come in to get, you know, jobs and shit, because no one thinks it's fucking worth it to do it. So, that, and also, I don't know, because they just expect it out of us, essentially. I mean, just straight up, it's like, hey, you know, can you be able to make these profits and blah, 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 blah. Yes? Okay, good. Sorry there. Don't be too sorry about it. I mean, I ain't the only one fucking feeling it. Obviously, that poor bastard at fucking Plaid Pantry that my friend went to, you know, is the same way. Honestly, way worse than, you know, my workplace. And at least for mine, so we're union. And for a Plaid Pantry, not at all. So, honestly, it's just like, when it comes to the poor bastard working at the Plaid Pantry, feel sorry for that person. Not really as much for me. Our new contract should be coming in pretty soon. I also finally got the new union cards for our new rep. Actually, their name is actually kind of cool. I won't actually, like, say it, but Yeah, if I could pull my fucking wallet out. I'll just say the last name. Coverdell, dude. That's a cool name, Coverdell. But that's our new rep, and it's just like, yo, I wonder if we're gonna be radical or not. I'm gonna hit him up probably either like tomorrow or one of my days off and be like, hey, what's up? I want to actually work with, in close tandem with you. Especially for, things that, pertain towards my store and shit, because we're kind of like a little bit left in dust. Can you help us? We don't even have shop stewards or like workplace leaders or anything like that, damn it. Like, we kind of need some shit. We need a little bit more of a stronger communication line and shit. And, hey, I'm open. It was me. Well, it's a public setting. I think just simply a last name without even, like, the gender reveal is okay. Because Coverdell, like, you don't know. That could be a fucking non-binary person for all you know. But, it's just like, I don't know anything about the person. So, I guess I'll find out once I actually get to meet her and, all that type of stuff. Meet this person and see how they're about and all that shit. Or the rainbow of kaleidoscopic magnificent oh my god. A rainbow of kaleidoscopic magnificence. Jesus, that is a mouthful. Vedib, do you want to be outbonded? Because I could arrange that. Playing fire when you mention that, bro. When you mention that fucking ad, dude. Got my full wide hair to the mat. Oh my god. Remind me to never accept a drink from Venom or McBortion for that matter. Hey, duly noted. Definitely don't accept one from McBortion because he'll probably try to use that as, to Bill Cosby you and have your way with you. And honestly, I feel like I'm not even kidding. I'm in a good mood today. Honestly, I am too. Like, I was, because they're doing, at least this week, they're changing our shifts a little bit. So they're having, like, one closer be from, like, 4 to 1 o'clock in the morning to do, like, prep shit and stuff. And having one person from, like, 2 to 10 and then, like, a mid from 11 to 6 just to see if that kind of helps out a little bit. And at least tonight, it seemed like they did. And honestly, for, like, dragging out hours a little bit, I mean, it works for me. So, all in all, I'm not really too against it, as long as, maybe we have at least 2 closers, maybe, like, one person till 8, Like, it's just some, just things, like that to kind of help with the routine a little bit. But due to understaffing issues, that's going to be kind of tricky. So, I mean, I can see it working if we have the manpower for it. But if we don't, then it can't, because the idea really mainly for is so morning people have less time to prep, for a lot of, like, the morning prep shit, like, pre-sliced meats and sandwiches and shit. So it's like, with that, the idea is to hopefully try to lighten the load on the morning people so they can have other other shit like helping out other customers or cleaning or other prep shit that they need to take care of that they can't get to because of other shit. So the idea is just to kind of lighten the load for the morning, which hopefully, actually could possibly work out. Where's Mornax been? AWOL? I've been messaging him on Discord every now and then. So it's not like AWOL. I can fucking hit his ass up. Get that son of a bitch in there. There we go. Has anyone ever told you that you're as yummy as a blueberry cheesecake fudge? That's very specifically detailed, and not like that. So not in that detailed manner. I've had some very, you know, like, interesting things described to me, but not that. Oh, Rip City, I don't know if you know this, but I now have a simp, I guess. I'm not against it. I'm not, you know, sitting here being, you know, turned down towards it, so it's just like, whatever. Intended no offense. Oh my god, don't, like, stop doing that. Jesus, like, you will absolutely motherfucking know if I'm offended. And honestly, considering my mood, I don't think that's going to be really, truly possible, at least in the current circumstances. I mean, I guess you could come out and be like, so how do you feel about, you know, yeah, I guess you could come out of nowhere and be like, so how do you feel about the Jews? Yeah, it's like, I guess you could come out of nowhere and throw a curveball like that, but I mean, you know, it's just like, unless you do some shit like that, then I think you're okay. It's like, how do you feel about the Jews and, you know, the question about, you know, our race being removed slowly but surely by ethnic cleansing? It's just like, what? It's like, wait a minute, hold up, wait, where did this come from? But, you know, it's like, yeah, as long as we, you know, I highly doubt some crazy shit's gonna happen like that, you know, given, at this point, there are things I'd rather do. There you go, yeah. I mean, also, like, I'm also just being kind of, you know, memey. I'm kind of fucking on, like, Nazis and shit like that, because, like, those are the only people that probably just their sheer existence would offend me. So, I mean, it's like, there's, like, you know, far-right types and shit, but they don't really, you know, hit it quite much like a Nazi, you know what I'm saying? Especially the ones that try to downplay that they are, being like, well, I'm not actually a Nazi, I'm this, like, I'm classically libertarian, or, you know, like, I'm actually, you know, like a classical, you know, traditional conservative, or some shit like that. It's like, It's like, I see what you're doing here. That has been summoned post haste. Hey, gone AWOL on us there for a minute, bro. Even I was wondering, it's like, where have you been, buh? If it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it farts like a duck, it's a goose. Exactly. I'm not Nazi. I identify as Ben Shapiro. Are you an anti-Semite? If you call me a Nazi, you're anti-Semitic. Oh my god, I honestly hate that. Like, you have, like, these hyper-Zionist motherfuckers and shit, and basically, you know, it's all strictly, basically just like, oh my god, fucking, you know, how dare, you know, like, these damn Palestinians did that, blah, blah, like, we gotta, you know, take them out, exterminate them, and, like, and some shit lately, you know, out of them will basically be like, you know, like Benjamin Netanyahu basically said that, you know, once, I don't know the exact quote, but he basically said that Hitler's one main mistake was basically fucking, going after the Jews instead of the Arabs, because the Palestinians and the Arabs somehow persuaded and manipulated Hitler to go after the Jews. Like, Benjamin Netanyahu unironically thinks that that's how much he's, like, okay with Nazism and fascism. And this is a, like, hyper-Zionistic fascist, you know, himself, you know, so it's just like, you know, it's like, it just comes down to, the, you know, what, like, what Venom was saying. It's like, if it quacks like a duck, you know, fucking walks like a duck, flies like a duck, yeah, it's probably, it's a goose, you know, but at the end of the day, it's like, no, they're fucking Nazis. It's like, you know, it doesn't matter just because, you know, they have, like, you know, the Star of David draped on them, or the actual swastika, they're still pretty much fucking Nazis just because of their ideologies. Like, fuck you, fuck them, like, punch a Nazi, that's how I feel. Like, boo. But isn't Ben Shapiro Jewish? Yeah, but that's kind of the point, though. Like, he uses that as an excuse. Like, if he, like, if you have, you know, yeah, like, because if you listen to Ben Shapiro and a lot of stuff he says, it's very, you know, hierarchy structured. It's just a very, like, oh, you know, I'm right, you know, you're wrong, and there's a very strong, religious fundamentalism tied to his beliefs and his views. And a lot of these type of things, correlate, towards a lot of fascistic, type of tendencies as well. And, and like, he's even in the past said that, civilian casualties in the Iraq War, was justified because, taking out, like, Saddam or some shit. Which the Iraq War in itself is a war crime just by its fucking nature because of it, the entire American people and government, being lied to, by facetious, elements within government to fucking, get into the Iraq War. So it's just like, I mean, it in itself is an outright war crime, and it got Ben Shapiro being like, yep, that's good. In fact, it's so good that the civilian deaths inside of that, entire crime in itself is okay too. It's like, what? And, justifies endlessly the fascistic ghettoization and an apartheid of the Palestinian people. I mean, so, I mean, it just kind of goes on. Like, the list goes on once you kind of break down what a lot of Ben Shapiro actually believes. And once you actually break down what Ben Shapiro actually believes, he's pretty fascistic and Nazistic in his views. Like, yeah, he's Jewish and, ethnicity and his beliefs, but I mean, that's why I say Zionism, at least, the hyper-Zionistic, apartheid that, a lot of the Jewish state and the people that support that are kind of Nazistic. I mean, and fascistic in nature. I don't think there's, like, some JQ question, by the way, but, I don't think they, run the world or whatever the fuck. They're just another element of the geopolitical, international, chess game and shit, that's being played by a lot of these fucking superpowers. They're not really too uniquely different in that scheme. Like, the idea that they're somehow outside of that and, like, are this super benevolent, like, controllers of everything, or whatever the fuck is just pretty absurd. I mean, if anything, like, it's more or less that the military-industrial complex and a lot of, the corporate interests have, manipulated both elements, into their own favors by instilling these type of fucking people in place to make sure that the money keeps chugging. So you have, like, these fucking puppets in the fucking Israeli state, and same here in the American state. And, of course, it profits the same established status quo, so money keeps chugging along, and business as usual. And it's a lot easier to couch that, too, because it, people, especially because of actual fucking, the OG Nazis fucking going out and doing the Holocaust and everything, people don't want necessarily being called anti-Semitic and shit, because it's, yeah, like if you're being called that, you're essentially being called Nazistic to some extent because, of past historical context and shit. So it's a lot harder to kind of, like, call that out, so to speak. Though, honestly, it shouldn't be. At least to me, it's pretty, self-explanatory. Because at least in my mind, it's just like, I mean, if someone comes at me, like, what, are you anti-Semitic? Like, have you literally listened to some of the motherfuckers in the Israeli state, right, that currently lead it or formerly led it, the last recent years? They are quite literally Nazistic. Like, a lot of them have defended the fucking Reich, like, openly. I'm pretty sure that's, like, about as Nazi as you can get these days. It's, like, openly defending the Third fucking Reich. You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, that sounds Nazistic. Thought you was Brazilian. Who? Him and his wife allegedly practice Orthodox Judaism. Well, yeah. I think she's Moroccan, isn't she? I don't fucking know. She's from Israel. Of course, Ben Shapiro wouldn't want to necessarily, taint his fucking, blood or whatever the fuck, considering his very ethnic supremacy views. If you're an ethno-nationalist or supremacist, you're gonna likely, not want to stray away, from your ethnic line. And if you do, it's because you've made that, partner of yours more of, like, a tool for your own, like, suppression more so than, like, an actual relationship. Not that they view it more so as a natural relationship anyway. With their very hyper-traditionalistic, way of thinking about things, where the woman doesn't necessarily have, like, an actual autonomy or right. It's a role that I find your intelligence sexy. Honestly, I value people more if they value intelligence over just sheer looks. Like, you know, like, it's honestly, it's like not many, I don't think, you know, the average Joe as much, so to speak, or the average Jane too, you know, necessarily looks at intelligence as much. I'm down for some Jewish pussy. I mean, I'm not either, don't get me wrong. Like, I definitely am too. Or, you know, some poontang, some pussy, don't matter. Like, I mean, honestly, yeah, like, I mean, overall, you know, it's like, yeah, the Israeli people, just as, you know, people, yeah, there's definitely some people who are fucking hot. I mean, look at Saudi Arabians, like, honestly, like, a lot of Saudi women are hot as fuck. Like, when you actually, you know, when they're liberated from their fucking oppressive Islamo-fascist regime and shit, and are actually able to express themselves and show themselves freely and shit, they're legit, unironically, like, hot. Like, and, you know, and drop-dead gorgeous. And then you got, you know, Saudi Arabian men, too. And, yeah, there's, you know, a lot of them are pretty fucking handsome themselves, you know? So it's just, like, all in all, I mean, you know, it's just, like, you know, like, people from all over the world can definitely be drop-dead gorgeous or fucking, you know, handsome as fuck. You know, but, like, at least for me, it's, like, I mean, I think it's just because of the whole, like, suppression that, you know, these people are under, but, you know, their beauty isn't, you know, able to be freely as expressed. You know, it's not as liberated, you know, as much as it is in the West. Like, when it comes to just, you know, like, female and LGBT, you know, like, just, you know, general queer liberation or female and women's suffrage and just general individuality, you know? So it's just like, you know, it's not as, you know, freely expressed as much as it is in the West. Mainly just because of, you know, really just of their societal constructs of, you know, what's, you know, been built over there, which is very oppressive. It's like there's definitely some, you know, regions, or at least some places, you know, in these areas that aren't like that, or aren't as much, but, I mean, you know, as, you know, on a more general level, I mean, they definitely are. And it sucks, like it shouldn't be. Like, you know, when it comes to things like women's suffrage, queer liberation, and, you know, like, workers' liberation and shit like that, I don't want to see it just here in America or in the West. I want to see that globally, you know, including the places where, you know, the people are most oppressed, and that includes, you know, places like in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia and all these other places. Because honestly, especially when there's, you know, like, you know, Arab women or Persian women or Indian women that, you know, can't, you know, freely, like, express themselves, you know, and show off their, you know, beauty naturally or just how they want to do so. You know, same thing for men too, you know, and are unable to, like, really, you know, be like, hey, let's fucking, you know, just, you know, be what I, you know, want to express on, you know, myself and shit. I mean, it's just like, I mean, when they actually have an ability or opportunity to do that, like, suddenly it's just like, whoa. Don't count on it, really just not compatible with women's rights. I agree. I mean, you know, like, that's why I think religion, you know, even for, you know, to the people that are more progressive or lefty about it, it's like, I mean, they have to understand, like, to the core and root of it, I mean, it really isn't compatible with these things. Because, unfortunately, there's going to be people that cherry pick the fuck out of this shit and use it for, you know, like, malicious gains. Whether for their own personal reasons or because they have, like, some, you know, agenda behind it. Whether it's for bigotry or hatred or for, you know, trying to establish a certain societal hierarchy or whatever. Whatever it might be. And fundamentally, that's a problem. Could we be friends? I mean, like, if we're just chatting, chilling, and vibing, I mean, it's like, I think we're already on the track for that. I mean, Rip City's, like, you know, been one of my friends since high school and shit, but everyone else here is essentially like an online friend, basically. Well, Mornox I met actually once at a protest. So, I mean, him I also, I guess, can technically count as a real-life friend, but... Well, you know, speaking of which, like, honestly, like, you know, we need to, like, fucking, like, maybe, like, set a time aside to, like, kick it or some shit, because, like, you know, me and my friends go to the bars every now and then in Portland and shit. Maybe one of these times, you know, we can try to get you to visit us. 1.5. Yeah. Well, yeah, a little bit, yeah. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just like now. It just literally dawned on my mind, after all this time. It's like, why did? It's just like he lives in the same fucking city. Why, what the fuck? I wouldn't mind being a little more than friends. Well, if I remember from yesterday, you said you were from West Virginia, so that's there is a distance gap. There's a little bit of a little bit of that is an issue. I wouldn't mind being a little closer to friends. Everyone wants to fucking, like, lay with me, dude. Oh my god. I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, I'm alright with it. It's like, alright. But, it's like there's a little bit of a problem with some distance here. First ever in-person Ignore convention, Lamau. I just have a meetup. I just honestly would, like, hit up a bar and be like, hey, I'm planning on a little meetup. It's not gonna be huge, but... it would be cool to probably set an hour of time, where we have like a little spot set up or some shit and, try to bring in a couple extra patrons, blah, blah, blah. I mean, or something like that. My friend has a band, so maybe we can make it like, some sort of bigger thing or some shit. Like, so I don't know. Like, I mean, there's a possibility of, like something like that in the future. Probably not the near future, but depending on how things look like in, the next... I don't know, like 5 years, give or take, or some shit. I mean, it could probably be a thing. I might be looking to move in the next couple years. Well, outside of rent and like the idea of being able to like afford housing around here in Portland, I mean, it's not bad over here. Again, if you can afford it, if you can fork over like the equivalent of like your life savings to like rent a fucking place, I mean, have fun. Though I imagine that's pretty much most of the country. West Virginia? Honestly, I'd fucking love to, but I honestly don't know when that'd be feasible. But honestly, like, when it comes to West Virginia, I would, especially to visit, like, Blair, Logan, and fucking, like, these different places where, Blair Mountain, or the Battle of Blair Mountain took place, and check out some of the, museums that might be around there, and some of the history and shit. Oh, fuck yeah. I mean, West Virginia in itself has a very strong, labor history. So, just for that alone, I'd fucking want to visit it. I mean, hell, even during the Civil War, like, it kind of had a little bit of a pro-labor, egalitarian type of history to it. Like, one of the main reasons why the Virginia split was because a lot of the areas of West Virginia were obviously a lot more against the pro-slavery aspects and a lot of that type of shit that were going on with the West Virginia. Or, I guess, technically East Virginia. So, there was a lot of different... quarreling and like kind of skirmishes occasionally and back and forth, between the two sides on that front, and eventually just formulated West Virginia out of that. Because there's a lot of staunch abolitionists who are around that area too, and honestly, like, there's even a term for it. Like, during the Civil War, there was a lot of Southerners who were considered Southern Unionists, and essentially they were like recessionists against the recessionists. They were meta-recessionists almost, because like there were Southerners who basically did not see eye to eye with the Confederacy and the whole pro-slavery mentality and shit. And one of the most notable is this free state of Jones, which is Jones County in Mississippi. And honestly, there's a lot of really cool history of a lot of it, because it was basically, these Southerners who were essentially like, some of the working class, Southerner types or disenfranchised, Confederates who essentially were like, fuck this isn't worth dying for, and this isn't worth the fucking bloodshed. And the slavery thing is kind of bullshit anyway, and I don't get anything out of it anyway, so fuck this, Like, there's a lot of, that type of mentality, and also, there was also a lot of people just, religiously, I guess one of the few times religion actually did kind of come in handy, where it's like, it's like, hey, if in the Bibles, there's no real, like, depiction against, black man or white man or some shit, then why are we fucking doing it? Like, God obviously don't see it like that. So there was a lot of, more Christian type of Southerners too, who also kind of saw it differently as well. and a lot of them were called like Southern Unionists, and there's a few other names for them. But or there were like some of them were like called like Southern Loyalists, which the Loyalists was loyalty to the North, but not like the Confederate Loyalists and shit. So that was like another term for them. But there's like a lot of different aspects about the South that honestly it's just like looking into its history, it's just like it's a lot more complex than people make it out to be. It's like honestly, especially these days, it's very easy to just paint it as like they're a bunch of white trash hillbilly motherfuckers. And honestly, I'm just gonna be I'm gonna be fucking blunt. So much of the South is that. I mean, it just straight fucking is. But at the same time, it's more complex than that. And I think its history especially shows that. I mean, like New Orleans, I mean, like these different, like Southern Unionist elements during the Civil War and during Reconstruction. Like, all these, different little, points. Like, how, like, music became a major pinnacle point, out of the South. Like, it came to, like, bluegrass, blues, jazz, all that type of shit. It's like there's there's honestly a lot of things that come out of the South that, honestly, maybe people might take for granted a little bit. I mean, so it's just like... like, it's not everything's all entirely bad. I mean, there's definitely some stuff that you can find, but, you have to kind of look for it because it's never taught, it's like, because, there's, never going to be, like, a real element of one to look for the history and shit, but that doesn't mean that, like, the South in itself somehow was good. Like, I mean, it's if anything, it enforces, the whole idea that, like, yeah, this whole, quote, states' rights idea that the South was trying to do was just bullshit. Just straight up. Like, if anything, it enforces the whole idea of, like, the whole, like, Southern, the Northern aggression propaganda idea. So, I mean, because, honestly, I mean, it was just a whole war where you had a bunch of rich-ass, slave-owning, plantation-owning cocksuckers who decided, to use their money and wealth to take matters in their own hands and secede and basically co-opt their fucking elements of their state governments, to do their fucking agenda and benefit. And who did that fucking serve? Nobody. But them. And there was definitely a lot of, obviously black folk, but, even some white folk that were just like, you know what? I kind of see this bullshit for what it is. There's a bunch of rich, owner class fucking plantation owning, white boys and shit, and, that fucking are owning everything and ain't doing a damn thing for me, or for these, people that they enslaved and shit. So, like, what the fuck, so what the fuck? This is bullshit. Fuck this shit. If I ain't getting anything and they're being treated like this, too, it's like, we're kind of, in similar boats, so let's help each other out. And that's where a lot of these a lot of these type of people came from.
Shush.
Good.
Shush.
Sick off. You big barky boy.
Shush, you bum.
He just looked right at you and boofed you. He just stared right.
I live here.
He just stared right at him and was like, boof. Even though, yeah, he lives here. It's like, come on, bro. Silly little dog.
Anyone else you can bark at, not me.
Don't listen to Zukov, that's fake news. Fake news, Zukov. Labor dog makes me horny. Well, I would hope. Boof me a song, you boofer, pass me the bong, and you're the bringer of reefer. Damn. I don't know if that worked as well as...
You bark at me again, I'm gonna make a bone on it.
What?
We're really tall, but you can't get it.
Huh? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know.
Yeah, what's the tail? Oh, there goes the tail.
Oh god. What's going on? Don't even want to know.
Poke the tail disappears.
What a little goof. Oh. So everyone's favorite lesbian softball coach ranked every U.S. state. And by the way, I'm just going to be honest. I did watch it a little bit early on. But I'm just going to be frank. I am triggered. I am triggered at Kyle for what he's done. How he ranked this is garbage. He tried to take politics out of it, but he ends up just getting very political with everything. For one. And for two, in fact, you can kind of see some of his goddamn results there. Look at that little smug lesbian fucking face of his right there. Look at that son of a bitch. Look at this bastard. Look at that bastard and that smug face on that thumbnail right here before we even begin. And we got Texas here right on the fucking front. He ranked Alabama so high on the list, Lamau. Did he? You know what? I didn't remember every single one of them, so this is also why we're kind of like, I'm going to really like analyze this and break this down. Because I did remember seeing some of it. So let's just get into it. We're here. We're going.
It is time to rank all the states in the United States of America.
This bullshit. This bullshit.
I want to be clear about something up front here. We're not doing this based on politics.
Bullshit.
We're not doing this based on which states align most with my philosophy. We are just doing this based on vibes.
Vibes,
this is a purely vibe-related list. It has nothing to do with politics whatsoever, and so I just needed to get that out of the way up front. So anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it. Indiana. Indiana is barely a state. Whenever I think about the states, I forget about Indiana. There's like a 0% chance that I remember Indiana.
See, we're already political as fuck. It's like it's barely a state. I don't recognize the state's rights. I'm getting political now.
Much interest in it, man. Weather's cold.
Oh, bitch, please.
Not much there.
Not much there, huh?
Comes to my mind in terms of what's there.
Honestly, when it comes to Indiana, statist. I know, what a fucking statist, bro. I mean, I'm gonna throw out some hot takes myself. Don't you worry. But when it comes to Indiana, like honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, what's wrong with it? Like honestly, I'm gonna go based on this premise here and just go on vibes. Unless it's absolutely necessary. I will add that caveat. I'm putting an asterisk. Unless absolutely necessary, you know, we're just going off vibes. But I'm just gonna be fucking frank with you. There are some states in here where it's just gonna have to come into play. It just has to. But you know, outside of that, anyway. So, Indiana. Like, honestly, there's nothing really political I can say about it, so whatever. Like, honestly, what's wrong with it? Like, let's just be real. What's wrong with it? You know, because, like, as far as I'm concerned, there's nothing really, like, you know, like, oh, there's nothing there, it's cold, blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't know, like, I've had my, you know, like, my dad's pastor and shit, and he's had, like, some fun little stories out of it before and shit, like, so I don't know. I mean, it's just like, it's whatever. It's like, it's more in the middle. Like, okay, so we actually have an F tier for once. A for F. Like, honestly, I just put it right in the middle. Like, I mean, you know, it's nothing to necessarily write home about, but, you know, it's, yeah, I'm sure it's probably not, like, the most vibing state, but, you know, it's like a place I'd chill at, you know? Like, you know, I already know what he's gonna do. Like, because he's actually saying he was gonna, you know, I'll just...
Going D. I'm going D tier for Indiana.
Nah, bro.
You should be sort of lucky that I'm not putting them F. I would put them F.
Should I be sensitive with my walk? No. Why would you think that?
I was probably later on in this, but I don't want to come out the gates with an F, so I'm being really kind. Hawaii.
Alright, Hawaii. We're talking vibes. Now, I'm not necessarily like, you know, my go-to when it comes to like peak, like vibes when it comes to like nature. I'm more of like, you know, the evergreens, you know, cascades, you know, like the mountainous forests, you know, like nice, good temperate meadows and stuff, you know, look good, you know, like nice hillsides, all that type of shit. Like, you know, honestly, all in all, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I mean, I vibe with a little bit of a different bioaesthetic, like a different biome, you know what I mean? However, I can absolutely vibe with Hawaii, you know, when it comes to, like, the, you know, the tropics and, like, you know, some volcanoes there, and, you know, like, the sands and the beaches of the, you know, the Pacific waters. Because I know the Pacific, you know, the Pacific's my ocean and shit. So it's like, you know, I'd just be seeing different, I'd be seeing a different part of my girl, you know, seeing a different part of the Pacific right there. So it's just like, you know, all in all, like, I'd be able to connect to the vibe, you know. So honestly, for me, like, just because of that, that's an S tier. It's an S tier. Like, honestly, like, it was like we eventually settled with Iceland, but like because it was meant to be like my senior graduation gift, so to speak. But the initial idea was to go to Hawaii. Like, I mean, that was the initial idea, but we never eventually settled with that, and we did something else, and that was Iceland. Which honestly, I think that was a better outcome anyway, because that's actually going outside the country, visiting a new country, you know, that I've never been to, or because I've never been outside the country in the first place. So, you know, it's like, honestly, I think it was a better outcome. But nonetheless, you know, like, I have to say, like, it fucking vibes, it slaps, like, and honestly, if I had a fucking fat ass, like, blunt, and I was on one of those volcanoes, I'd be, you know, taking, like, a fucking, like, I'd be taking the fattest fucking, like, you know, taking it like, you know, like I'm fucking like, you know, goddamn fucking, you know, Fidel Castro, just, you know, like a cigar, just like, you know, just get the shades and just sit there on top of a volcano, like I'm just like smoking on like the fast blunt, dude. Dude, I'm thinking about now S tier. Like, honestly, must I go further? Hawaii's an S tier. Hawaii, S tier right there. Why is neocolonialism? Yes, but again, unless it's necessary, we're talking about vibes. And if vibes absolutely overrides everything about the politics, then it's the vibes. I added the asterisks, okay? I added the asterisk. I also think that Montana's pretty. It is in here. We'll get to Montana. It's a little bit more in the middle, but hey, you know, Montana will be mentioned. And honestly, you know, just to get it out of the way, that's another S tier. I have been to Montana, like, some of my family lives there. I love the state myself. Like, when it comes to vibes, I fucking love it. Montana's an S tier. I'm just gonna get that out of the way right now. Do you know how much weed $100 buys in Mexico? Garbage bags full, Ignal. Well, no shit, because, like, I mean, a lot of cartels fucking grow it there. And to at least the illegal states that still have it, and if they are even making money off of it, they're probably still shipping it over the border for it. But at this point, illegal states are just getting it from the legal states. Like, any recreational weed that's in legal states is going, you know, whatever surplus there is 100% going to fucking other states, mostly illegal ones. That's why it needs to be legal on a fucking federal level, because one, you know, these legal states can transfer marijuana to other states, and two, you know, it kind of decriminalizes, you know, crossing state borders, and then just, you know, leaves it up to the states when it comes to the legality. But at that point, it's going to become impossible to enforce. It's unless, you know, that state, like Idaho, for example, and honestly, like, Idaho, like, Arkansas, and maybe, like, fucking, like, what other state doesn't have a 100% legalized in one way, shape, or form? Like, or, you know, or any percent, like, because I'm trying to think. Like, Idaho, Arkansas, and, like, there's probably, like, one other state that 100% would probably unironically, like, do, like, half their funds into law enforcement just for the sheer virtue of trying to stop it. Like, they would do that first before just saying fuck it and just legalizing it. Nebraska. Yeah, Nebraska, too, probably. Fully illegal. Yeah, so, like, you got Nebraska and Idaho. Like, honestly, unless they decide to go full-on, like, you know, police state, like, literal police state, there ain't no way in fucking hell they're going to be able to enforce it. So, it's like they're going to have to just give up. Like, at the very least, just not enforce their laws and just let it happen, because there's just no way to enforce it. You know, it's like, even if they want to keep it on the books, like, but at that point, it's just redundant. It's just stupid. You might as well just fucking legalize it. And at that point, you know, it'll only be a matter of time before it does. Feel the urge to kiss Igna. You're not the only one. Alabama claims it's going to do a medical program, but you're not allowed to smoke it anyway. Just oils. Well, that's stupid. But anyway, we're getting a little far-fetched, you know, with ourselves here. So.
Percent feels like we're doing, like, flat-out colonialism. Jacking them and being like, this is ours now. I know there are a number
This is
of
ours
people in
now.
Hawaii who are sort of like, hey man, we kind of want to be our own thing.
And I actually kind of respect that, low-key. Like, hey, if there's enough people that actually unironically want that, then go for it.
So we're just going to omit politics from the equation.
Keep out there at the right time. Honestly, I was wondering where the fuck you were.
Hawaii is gorgeous.
Like,
it's
you literally wanted this initially.
beautiful.
I mean, I wanted it too, because I'm actually unironically fucking triggered at his, like, list here.
I see, you know, a video or a picture from Hawaii.
So far,
I'm
not really.
"Goddamn,
Like, I disagree with Indiana. Like, I put it at C tier just because, like, I don't really have a negative thing to say about it, but I don't really have anything positive. It's just kind of a neutral. I haven't seen it yet. Well, he literally said that Indiana is, like, not even a state. And Hawaii, he's like, well, we were just, like, kind of colonial, just kind of took that shit and says, this is ours now. And, you know, so we're on Hawaii at the moment.
super duper far from mainland United States.
But I would put Indiana at C tier. Only downside is housing costs. We're only doing this on vibes, not politics or anything like that. Just strictly vibes. Just like, is it a state that vibes? Only downside is housing costs. A tier. Oh, so you mean S tier? Yeah, same here. Honestly, just especially on vibes alone, even with politics too. I mean, it would be an S tier. Lamau, easy S tier then. Yeah. Honestly, for me personally, with my analysis, put an asterisk and said there's going to be politics if it's absolutely necessary. Like, if it overrides the vibes of the state. And honestly, I am looking at a few states in here where the politics override the fucking vibes. So, and I'm seeing 2 of them on the first row right here. I don't know if there's one on the second row. I know there's at least one on the third row. And the fourth row, I think there's at least one as well. So there's at least a few in here that there is going to be some that is going to override the vibes. But most of these aren't.
Bit of a knock against it. You know, me living on the East Coast in order to get to
Idaho,
Hawaii,
Florida, Texas.
I basically have to take like a spaceship.
Idaho for sure.
And it takes 2.5 weeks to get there.
Florida.
So there are a couple stumps.
I don't know. Maybe.
You know what?
Maybe we'll see when we get there.
It is so beautiful. It is so gorgeous. And it feels sort of like a little slice of heaven on earth. I have to go S tier. Hawaii is just, it's just
Based.
awesome.
So no problem so far. So California.
California is gigundo.
Gigundo. I love that word, gigundo, bro. Yes, and it is. Honestly, it's very, kind of a diverse state in a lot of ways. A tier for me. Honestly, I'm not done yet. I'm just starting. I'm not gonna say A tier. I will put that out there. Honestly, like, let's get to some of the good shit out of the way first. Like, there's a lot of natural beauty. I vibe with that. A lot of the vibe, I was talking of my biome, you know, preference earlier when it comes to, like, my peak vibe preference. Like, California has a lot of that. When it comes to, like, a lot of, you know, stuff to check out, like, from museums to, like, you know, amusement, entertainment, all that, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of that. Like, I mean, California is gigundo. Like, I mean, you know, if there's something that you want to check out, absolutely guarantee California's got it. I mean, you know, so it's just like, you know, there's pretty much like a little bit of everything for everybody. I mean, honestly. But there's some problems. And honestly, I feel like there is going to be some elements where the politics might override the vibe. Because of their fucking bullshit, you know, state and how it runs. Like, their fucking local climate in that region has gotten so fucked. and so destroyed because of wildfires, especially in Northern California. So it's just like so much of the vibe has been fucked up because of, you know, wildfires and droughts and all this other shit, because of a lot of fucking political garbage. So it's just like, I mean, there's a little bit, honestly, this is actually one of the states that kind of where the vibe got overridden a little bit, you know. So it's just like, and honestly, because of that, it's a B tier, like, at least. Like, honestly, you know, for me, it's a B tier because it's just like a lot of the problems of California are just, you know, it's destroying a lot of the vibe. It's destroying what makes California vibe. I mean, that's, you know, like some of the fucked up shit about it, honestly. I mean, it's just like, god damn it. I mean, if it wasn't for all that shit, it'd probably honestly be a fucking S tier. I mean, but you know, it's like the vibe got fucked and it's just only getting more fucked.
Different big, important cities in there. But the cities low-key also have some issues, you know? Like, when I was in LA,
too.
I've been in LA.
California's, like, problems with, like, you know, traffic and shit is, like, butt fuck, like, buns, bro. It's, like, it's absolute buns, dude. Like, do we even need to explain it? Like, it's insane.
Down. Like, it really is sort of run down. Now, I love the weather in a lot of California, particularly Southern California. This is a tough one. Northern California gets a lot of wildfires. One of the first things you think of when you think of California is, like, wildfires.
Droughts, yeah.
Overall, though, I do kind of like the vibe I get from California. I do kind of like the vibe. Maybe it's a little bit less than it used to be, but I'm going to go solid A tier for California. There's just so much there, so many things, so much beautiful weather, etc. What's this one?
SoCal weather is nice, not going to lie. I mean, yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I don't besmirch, you know, Kyle's decision. Like, you know, it's honestly understandable. I mean, for me, I just feel like there is a lot of things that kind of went buns, you know, but all in all, I mean, I get it. I agree with the soccer mom. I mean, overall, like, I disagree a little bit, but, I mean, not enough to be like, bleh.
All right, so Arizona.
A hungry kiss is an anagram.
I gotta keep it real with you guys.
Ooh.
I'm sort of a desert dude. There are two climates I like the most: tropical and desert. Okay.
I've been to Arizona during December, and honestly, I liked it. Like, when it comes to the vibes of Arizona, at least from what I remember when I was in Phoenix, I mean, Phoenix's sprawl is ridiculous. Search your username. What? Safari Anagram, Sir Gnoski, Sir Gay Hunk, Harry Gunks, Grainy Husk, a Shrink Guy, a Hungry Ski, Sir Hunks Yak, Sir Hank Guy, Angry Husky, Yak Rushing. Nice place, Dusty. Yeah, I was inside a B-17 when I was in Arizona. Like, I was at and I also saw an F-4F Wildcat fly and land at the one of the museums that were there, which that was really fucking cool. Like, honestly, because at least with my experience of Arizona, like, I actually have to say kind of vibes a little bit. Like, for me, I'd actually put it at least, like, I mean, in the summer, I probably would hate it, though. Like, because I'm also thinking about the time I was there, which was December. So, for me, it's just, like, I think all in all, would probably just be, like, you know, I don't know. I'd say probably a B tier, just because in the summer, I think I'd be miserable. But during the winter, like, during, you know, December and shit, I actually liked it.
Heat outside. I'm weird in the sense that when I'm inside, I like it to be a little bit chilly, like a little bit more on the cold side. Like, I'll keep my AC.
Breweries and hikes, everything else blows ass.
Be it like
your experience of Arizona must be different from mine.
In the dead of winter, if it's like 20 degrees outside, I still have my heat at only like 65 degrees. So I like it a little chilly on the inside, but I like it a little warmer outside.
You're fucking weird.
Very strange, I know. But tropical and desert climates are my shit.
Weird ass.
Arizona has a lot of golf courses.
Weird ass Kyle.
I think it's beautiful. I think the landscape is beautiful over there.
It is.
Again, since we're omitting politics, for me, For me, I gotta go S tier for Arizona.
Oh shit!
With Arizona, if I'm making a list of places,
Really, huh? 114 degrees every day. Gross. No, thank you. No, thank you. Fucking soccer mom. Dude, that is like peak. Like, that is like, you know, your elderly grandpa named George fucking moment right there. That's not even a soccer mom. That's your elderly uncle named George.
like picking a place that I might live, Arizona's like top 5 of the places I might like. I might go right to Phoenix.
Oh my god.
I also, these days, I love watching the Phoenix Suns. Chris Paul, Devin Booker. So, anyway, it's up there. Alaska is a beautiful state. Alaska is a beautiful state. It's...
Ooh. Honestly, especially with what I vibe with, that's an S tier. Like the, you know, like tundra, you know, like honestly, this is like my Northern European month bias coming in here, where it's like, ooh, nice, you know, tundras, some snow, some cool, like, you know, mountainous, you know, forests and evergreens. I say B tier just because of how rural and cold it is. But I don't mind that, like, at least for me, so that's why I'm saying, like, some S tier shit. I mean, during the winter, it's probably going to be some fucking buns shit, not even going to lie, but low-key, though, I don't know. I'm down with it.
It's so goddamn cold, and in the winter, like, the sun is just gone. Like, I don't even know if it... There might be parts of Alaska where the sun just doesn't even come up for, like, months on end. And then in the summer, it's the opposite. Like, it's just sunny all day and all night. So it's too far north. It's too goddamn cold, but it's got so much natural beauty. And I do low-key, I'm sort of an outdoorsy person, low-key. Like, people don't know that. You think with what I do for a living, and I have to be plugged in, and so I love technology, etc., etc. No, I love nature, and I love being outdoors. And Alaska, even despite all of its massive strikes against it, the natural beauty is so overwhelming, and like the rugged outdoorsman feel is so overwhelming. I gotta go A tier. I gotta go A tier for Alaska.
Hey, respectable.
Alabama.
Uh-oh.
Alabama.
I know, alright. Everywhere north of the Arctic Circle gets months of darkness. Yes, that is true. But, when it comes to Alabama, F tier Lamal. I'm sorry, Venom, I think I have to agree. Like, honestly, it's just like the fucking politics kind of override it, though. Like, you got, like, racist-ass buns motherfuckers out there. You got, like, literal Klansmen, sons of bitches out there just, you know, doing their thing. All sorts of shit. Like, ugh, like, you know, just says that's some F-tier shit.
Has going for it. It's warm. It's generally kind of warm. It's not overcrowded, so I sort of fuck with that. But that's really all it has going for it. There's not much else that pops to mind when I think of Alabama. I'll go C tier. What's this one, Colorado? Yeah, it's Colorado. Colorado, again, very, very beautiful state. Not my cup of...
Ooh. Honestly, I think when it comes to, I mean, honestly, I think when it comes to, like, Colorado, man, as issues are pretty mild overall. Yeah, because I'm thinking about, like, some of the places where they're kind of yuppie as fuck a little bit, not gonna lie. But honestly, though, like, and also, I feel like there's just, like, a slice of, like, the culture out of Colorado that's just, like, they kind of feel like they're above everybody. Not just literally, but figuratively. So, I mean, I kind of, like, I mean, you know, like, I feel like, you know, there's a little bit of that vibe that kind of comes off, you know? And I don't fucks with that. I don't really like that about it. I don't vibe with it. And I know there's some places, not all Colorado, that's why I'm saying a slice. You know, there's, like, some places in Colorado kind of, you know, emulate that. And it's like, so it's like, you know, I'd say, you know, I'd probably say, yeah, an A tier. You know, Sky's problems, but, yeah, it's pretty, it's pretty legit. Like, I mean, overall, I'd say it definitely vibes. And yeah, honestly, especially for cannabis, that's what's bumping it up too. Because like, but that's also a thing that kind of, puts it more maybe neutral a little bit, like on an even foot. Because like, I mean, like some of those hoity-toity yuppie motherfuckers are all gonna be like, oh yes, we're the best place to get the weed in the whole country. Oh la la la. Even you Oregon, oh you Oregonian tourists that come in because you're having the less saltier. But like I sort of like. I bet you got some yuppie motherfuckers who are like definitely gonna be like that. Maybe not like that hyperbolic, but they got that mind about it. And it's like, ugh. It's like boo.
There.
I feel like this is where Care Bears would join Paws to sing along. Oh God.
But in terms of like the scenery that comes out of there, forget it. It's gorgeous.
Oh yeah, and it's A tier. It's an absolute solid A tier.
Beauty.
Honestly, like I am kind of tempted to just say fuck it and put it in S tier, but I'm gonna stay conservative about it.
Reputation. Denver, for example, although that city's at altitude again, I'd never go there. I'd probably struggle to breathe if I went there. Not my cup of tea, but undeniable how beautiful it is. So I sort of have to put this A tier as well alongside Alaska. Delaware is literally a fake state.
A fake state? Oh my God, it's getting so political.
Just like a corporate tax haven. It's tiny as fuck. It seems wildly unnecessary.
True. Okay, I like what he's saying, though. Like, honestly, I don't even need to add to this. Like, I think this is a solid F tier. Like, Delaware could just be conquered by New York, and I don't think anyone would care.
Cared about it. People still probably don't even believe it exists, even though it exists. People who live in Delaware are sort of like, fuck, I live in Delaware. I do it every single week when I go from New York to D.C., and every single time I'm like, this state is wildly unnecessary. It's literally just a fake-ass state. We're going F tier.
Base.
I mean, it shouldn't exist.
It shouldn't exist.
Sorry, Joe Biden. Connecticut. Connecticut, I actually live close to the border of Connecticut. In New York, and
I don't really know much about Connecticut. I'm not even gonna lie, so I'm gonna kind of put it in like a C tier. Like, I mean, I'm sure there's some stuff I'd fucks with it, but I'm sure there's a lot of things about Connecticut where I'd probably be like, what the fuck? Like, so I don't know. I'd put it in S tier, like, or not S tier, S C tier, because I don't really got nothing to really say about it positively or negatively. It's just like it's just there. Nothing too much. Nothing too fancy. Nothing, too spectacular. B or C on the fence to me, too much of glorified suburb. Oh, that is true. Yeah, honestly, to me, that's what really makes, you know what? Yeah, that makes it a solid C tier then for sure. It's like, I mean, it's probably got some natural beauty, but if it's getting like tore down for suburbia glorification, it's like, ew. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. I don't fucks with that. But, like a fucks with, what's left. What's left of what hasn't been suburbified. So, alright. If I had to move to Northeast, I'd probably want to live there. Vermont. Yeah, I probably would too. That or Maine, Vermont. Yeah, probably one of those two states, honestly. Because both of them have legal weed, right? I'm pretty sure, I know Maine does, but I'm pretty sure Vermont does too. Different each year? Oh, really, huh?
Over the border from New York to Connecticut, the roads noticeably get better. Like, they're in better shape when you go to the Connecticut side.
Oh, better roads, so better infrastructure.
Also, it just doesn't have much else going for it. There's a lot of, like, wealth that's there because people who work in the city, a lot of people live there, and so it's got, decent amount of money over there.
Because suburbia.
When I was a kid, my mom used to take me to this place called the Stanford Town Center, which was like a little mall that was over in Connecticut. It was maybe a 20-minute drive from where we lived growing up. I just don't think much about Connecticut in either direction. So, not a big fan, but not a big hater. I'll just go C tier.
I kind of agree.
Florida. Okay, time
F tier. Oh no, you know what? Kyle's about to fucking throw a hot take. I'm sorry, it's an F tier. Like, I literally would actually celebrate if, like, climate change just, like, rapid-fired Florida out of nowhere and just, like, sunk it in the Gulf of... just sunk the Gulf and just made the Gulf just combined into like a more bigger, grander Caribbean Sea or some shit, bro. Like, I think, you know, I think there would be plenty of people in this country who'd be like, oh, wait, Florida's kind of gone now? Oh, cool. I mean, I think, like, I mean, you know, I could give a fuck about, like, the Disneys, the Miami, or whatever the fuck, like, boo. Like, it's literally ran and, like, operated and, like, controlled by a bunch of, like, meth-addled fucking chuckle fucks and insanity, and their like, and I guarantee you, like, their administration for the police are not ran by pigs, but instead cracked out alligators. Like, I mean, I guarantee it. Like, I mean, Florida is just backwards beyond recognition. It's insane. Like, you know what? Honestly, I'm kind of thinking D tier because you get Florida Man and crazy weird ass Florida news that does amuse all of us in America. So, I mean, you know what? Oh my God, it's making me want to kind of bump it up a little bit now. Jesus Christ. Oh God. I mean, okay, I need to shut up. I need to shut up before I start bumping it up a little bit, because the whole Florida Man and the news and my entertainment that I get out of Florida, I mean, it's just like, oh my God. I mean, you know what? I would miss that, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh man. You know what? I don't vibe with Florida, but I like Florida Man. I like the crazy news that I hear out of Florida. Not the DeSantis news or the crazy police brutality news, but like the Florida Man stories, like the cracked out alligators, meth squirrels, fucking, you know, just, it's just, I mean, I don't even know, bro. Florida's the encapsulation of America. Changed my mind. Nah, I'm not even, no. I'm saying no to, I'm not gonna bother changing your mind, by the way. Like, I'm not even gonna attempt that. I'm gonna try and use the motivation to switch to gluten-free diet, and I'm clear as to the reason. I have a somewhat, well, oops. I have a, somewhat coworker, hard to explain, since I'm not the regular point of it. I'm a celebrates Ramadan. I have a coworker who tried to celebrate Ramadan, but I got the dates wrong. Damn. Don Julio restaurant in Lakeland, a combination of Mexican and Southern foods. I originally told them they would be a loyalty for Ramadan. They were like, ah, damn it. You tend to show off the lesser proud characteristics we possess as a nation, but still. Yeah.
Like Kyle's most controversial opinions, right? But
we're from America. We're from America. Where we eat our young.
Here. And I'm just talking based off vibes. When I go off vibes in Florida, I'm sorry, man, I fucking love Florida. I don't care if I'm the last lefty
soccer
on
mom
earth that says I love Florida.
Soccer mom.
I fucking love Florida.
You lesbian soccer mom.
About when it's the middle of February in New York, or the middle of January, it's like 20, 25 degrees outside. The skies are gray. There's snow on the ground. You can't go outside with enough layers because you just feel like, I just don't want to be out here. This is bitter, this is cold, this is useless, I hate this, this is terrible.
Wow. Man, quit being a goddamn pussy.
Video of Florida, or picture of Florida on TV, and your feeling is like...
motherfucker, are you like part Polish there, you son of a bitch? Like, bruh. Like, Poland gets hella cold and wintry in the winter. Like, you got, like, the blood for it, you fuck. Like, boo-hoo, you buns-ass little pussy. God damn it, Kyle.
Be there. I just want to be where it's 70 degrees, the sun is shining, like, the sun...
You could literally have that anywhere else.
Sets at a reasonable-ass time.
Kyle!
In the middle of the winter.
Shut up!
Whereas, you know, in New York, if
Stop!
It's like 4:30... you know, the sun starts setting in the middle of winter.
Kalinsky!
I don't know why anybody puts themselves through this torture, through this pain.
Yeah, why are you doing this to yourself, Kyle? Why are you doing this to us, Kyle?
Keep it real.
No.
Disney is a terrible, exploitative corporation, right? But
yeah, and it exploits the fuck out of Orlando, you fucking... Oh my god.
So, heaven on earth for little kids. And I don't know about you guys.
I don't give a fuck if it's a heaven on earth for little kids. They got goddamn fucking Disneyland and goddamn Anaheim, you weird ass son of a bitch. Like, are we serious, bro? It's a wonder world for, like, you know, for the kids. Like, I don't give a motherfuck. Like, I mean, like, the kids literally have everywhere else in the world. Holy strum fuck bolies, my dude. Like, there's literally, like, anywhere else in the world. I mean, it's just like, Jesus. I mean, it's like, yo, Kyle, you're literally saying stuff you could say about fucking Kyle. Like, you're saying shit, like, it literally in a vacuum. What Kyle's saying, if replace Florida with California, and it would sound fine. It would basically sound the exact same shit. Like, dead ass, no buns, bro. Like, I mean, but yet, out of nowhere, he's fucking throwing this shit out for fucking Florida? Dude, he's gonna put it in the S tier. Watch. He's gonna do it.
I went to Disney like probably 3 times. My family took us there, and I loved it. The other thing Florida has going for it.
Yeah, I did too, but guess what? I was 6 years old. I was ignorant like a little child.
Beautiful golf courses. I mean, you know, Miami is like its own thing. You have northern Florida, which is just like, it's not even like it's part of Florida, it's just like part of the rest of the South, kind of. Southern Florida.
Yeah, let Southern Florida sink into the fucking sea, and then you get Northern Florida that just gets gobbled up by Georgia and fucking, like, what else? Motherfucking, like, Carolinas. Let it just get eaten up by those states. There you go, boom.
I mean, I'm sorry, man. On the tropical,
give it back to Spain for all I give a shit. Like let Spain, like, reunite its colonialism for all I give a fuck. Like, goddamn.
You add in the beaches.
Get rid of it. Let it go. F tier. Like, put it in Z tier, like, if we could do that. Like, oh my god. Kyle, like, honestly, you're making me want to put it lower than an F tier.
I know some people say, oh, they have no culture there. Miami's got a lot of fucking culture, dog. So...
And...
spare me.
So does, like, every city. Oh my god, Kyle. Oh, I heard that too. Spare me. Oh. Kyle. Lesbian soccer mom Big Seltzer Sela Kalinsky is out here saying spare me. Well, he's literally sucking literally America's dick. Like, the literal dick of America, which is honestly, like, HIV-ridden, meth-ridden. Like, it's honestly a very disgusting dick. I wouldn't even touch it. And yet, you got Kyle, like, lesbian, big seltzer, sellout, soccer mom Kalinsky over here. Literally got... I walked in the wrong time. But, yeah, you got Kalinsky over here just doing that shit. And it's just, like, over Florida. And it's just like, yo, what is this buns-ass shit? Like, dead ass, what's this buns ass shit? It's like, what the hell? My dad actually looked at me like I was insane for a second. I love it. I'm sure yours is bigger than the state of Florida. Well, yeah, of course, because also it's not infected and shriveled and disgusting.
I can't help it. I gotta go S tier.
I told you!
I gotta go S tier. Sorry. I know I'm the last lefty in the country that likes...
You literally are the only lefty in the country, Kyle.
Vibes? Florida's my shit. Georgia.
Honestly, I'm gonna put it as C tier. There's some problems about Georgia. But, honestly, some of the, like, landscape of Georgia is actually kind of cool. I mean, honestly, visiting Savannah, Georgia would actually be kind of cool, honestly. I mean, you know, there's actually some stuff about Georgia I think would actually be kind of cool to check out. Like, I mean, if I was doing, like, hey, you know, I'm going to do, like, you know, visiting, you know, the country and visiting the states, you know, and I was picking which states I'm going to actually, like, you know, spend time in, I would actually spend time in Georgia. I'll spend some days there and check it out. Well, I got passed through a lot of different southern states, you know, for the most part, honestly. But, you know, for the, you know, I'm going to have to, you know, spend time at least in, you know, some of the states out there. So, at least for me, if I were to, I would spend time in Texas, in Georgia, and, you know, probably the Carolinas. Like, you know, honestly, now thinking about it, there actually would be some states that I actually would probably spend some time in. But, you know, there's going to be states to get to those states that I'm going to go in between. Fuck Texas. Honestly, now I got some fucking bias, bro. Like, I'm just gonna be honest. Like, I got some bias, so I can't say fuck Texas. Now, when it comes to the politics of Texas, fuck Texas. But when it comes to vibes, I don't know, dude. I don't know, man. Like, I can't say that. Texas has got a fucking... Like, honestly, even my family down there, when I was there last time, they're like, sorry you couldn't really see, you know, a lot of, like, natural beauty and stuff like that. There's not much around here. I'm like... And I was sitting here like... Yeah, maybe not, like, for, like, natural landscapes that we can go hike ourselves, but, like, there's been places around here where, like, I was visiting my cousin at his ranch that he recently bought a couple years back, and, I straight up was like, hey, I'm gonna fucking, like, you know, just spend some time while you're all, you know, catching up a little bit, you know, and, you know, for, you know, doing what y'all doing, I'm gonna go explore that way, you know, explore all the trails and shit, you know, of your, of this ranch that y'all got. And I did that, and I was out there for like an hour and a half and shit, and there was so much cool shit. There were so many cool fucking things that I, you know, never seen before. Like, I've seen like these little orb weavers that are, I don't know what they're called specifically, but I think they're like nicknamed crab orb weavers, where they have like these little spikes on the edge of their, you know, abdomens, and they come in like different colors, like orange, white, red, yellow. They come in these like crazy little colors, and there were so many of them, and I was just like, what the fuck? I've never seen them like that before. And they're just these little guys, and I was just like, I mean, you know, so honestly, like, we're gonna get, it's down on the bottom of the list there, but when it gets to Texas, like, honestly, man, like, I don't know, like, there's, like, when it comes to the vibe of Texas, it's more like, you have to kind of, like, look for it more so than, you know, like, you know, just seeing it on the face of it. You have to kind of, like, chunk away with an ice pick for all the bullshit, and then, like, break through, and then go for, you know, kind of walk around a little bit, and you'll kind of see it. But, I mean, again, I gotta have a bias a little bit. But because of that, you know, I'm able to kind of see some of the, you know, forest through the trees, so to speak, I guess, in a way. Because I've been to Texas. I mean, I've been there multiple times, and honestly, it's legitimately a pretty beautiful state. But politically, it's a fucking shithole. Like, I mean, it just is. Like, yeah, Morax just said it. Like, when it comes to the politics of that state, it's honestly dead ass a shithole. Like, it just is. Like, if we're talking about politics of this tier list, absolutely F tier. But when we're talking about vibes, I mean, I'm just gonna get it out of the way. It's an A tier for me. When it comes to vibes, I mean, and also it's like, you know, I was only in one part of Texas, like, you know, in the surrounding Dallas region. Like, if I was in the Houston area, like, it would be totally different. If I was in San Antonio area, that would be a little different. If I was just in some of the different little smaller towns, it'd be totally a little different. I mean, depending on where you go, you'll get little different vibes. So, I mean, for that, I mean, because of how fucking huge and diverse it is, I mean, honestly, it's just like, there's, like, you know, Texan culture within Texan culture, basically, you know, depending on where you go. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of hard to say, just fuck it. I mean, when it comes down to it, at least to me, like, but, you know, it's not, you know, we're taking the, at least to me, taking the whole, like, specifically, you know, the politics of it aside. I'm just talking about just kind of the general, you know, vibe and the natural beauty of the place. And honestly, it's got a lot of it. I mean, it's not like, you know, like Oregon by any means, because honestly, it's just like, you know, when it comes to my family down there, they look at places like Oregon like, oh my god, it's so, like, extravagant, it's so naturally, like, wondrous and beautiful and blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, yeah, it is. But so can over here, too. And because they look at our states and shit, and they're just like, oh, ooh, and they get, like, glistle in their eye and shit when they see, like, you know, the Cascade Mountains, you know, and shit from Portland or whatever. You know, but then they go to places like, you know, fucking, you know, like where they live, and they're just like, you know, it's like nothing. But it's like, I mean, it's not like there's nothing. There's something. You just kind of have to, like, look for it a little bit. I mean, and being kind of more of a naturally, you know, more naturally kind of an exploreful person, you know, I, you know, ventured off to kind of go check out some of the surrounding area that my, you know, my cousin had at his ranch that he bought. and there was a lot of really cool shit. I mean, it's not really like any actual places to like hike, so to speak, but if you got someone who owns a bunch of fucking land and shit, and you know, it's like, I mean, the world's your oyster when it comes to just hiking around out there. So I don't know. I mean, for me, I have a little bit of a different perspective about it. Politically, it's, yeah, like shithole, fucked up. Like, I mean, if I was there, I would be a utter, absolute fucking outcast. Like, utterly. Like, I would hate it there, you know, when it comes to the politics and shit. Hell, I remember, you know, the day I was actually leaving, we got some burgers before we went to the airport and shit from Brandon Burger, which is in one of the tiny ass little towns that that's out there, like outside of Dallas, like in Southwest and shit. It's actually a really tasty ass fucking burger. It's like a really definitely good ass, you know, place to eat at, honestly. But like, I'm just gonna be fucking blunt. Like, some of the people that were eating there, because we're only picking it up, so we're just waiting around. Me and my grandma had our masks on and shit, and at least everybody, when it came to looks, were looking at me like like, it was just like, okay, I hope our food comes quick, because I'm feeling like 5 different weird ass, like, big beer belly sons of bitches looking at me like, what the fuck is this young liberal silly slicker doing here? Like, it's like, oh my god, okay. Yeah, so it's like, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes down to the politics, you know, it's like, it's definitely shitty. You know, but I mean, when it comes down to, like, you know, some elements about Texas overall, like the forest through the trees, you know, so to speak, I mean, there's some shit that vibes. I mean, honestly, like Six Flags over Texas, I've been there. That place fucking vibes. Like, going on the Goliath there and going to the very front of the seat of that ride when you're going so high up and just go all the way down. Oh my god, that is awesome. Like, so I don't know. Like, I got some, I don't know. I got, like, you know, my biases about it. I'm just gonna be honest. So for that, it's an A tier at least when it comes to vibes. I mean, the S tier, you know, element doesn't come to play just because of the other shit. That has to be the caveat, at least, you know, to some degree. But I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of aspects that, you know, where the vibe still kind of overrides a little bit. Hence why, you know, because it's primarily on vibes, you know, we have to go based on that. And if it still overrides all the politics, at least in my mind, with the analysis here, with Texas at least, I mean, I'm just gonna have to go. You know, with that position, it's just like, I don't know. Hot take from a lefty. You know, like, Kyle's hot take is Florida. My hot take is fucking Texas. But I at least didn't put Texas in S tier. I put a caveat. I put it as A tier. I mean, we're not even there yet with Texas, but, you know, we put it there. Honestly, what did I even say of Georgia? Oh yeah, C tier. Okay. We were at Georgia. This entire time, oh my god.
I sort of like Georgia too. Again, warm. There's a lot of places in Georgia that are gorgeous. They have Augusta National there, where they host the Masters every year.
Oh my god, you would put New Jersey in B or A tier? Oh my fucking god. I am from New Jersey! We got, like, Jersey Shore over here, and I got, you know, my nice old orange tan, yeah, because I'm Jersey. I'm also loud and obnoxious. Like, oh my god, fuck Jersey. I want that state abolished. Like, oh my god, Jersey needs to be abolished as a state. And it's corrupt as fuck. It's a corporate tax haven shit. Oh, like, no, fuck Jersey. Fuck New Jersey. Oh my god, easy F tier. Easy F tier. I would unironically have Oregon colonize the fuck out of that state and have Oregon have an Atlantic coast and a Pacific coast. Boom, bitch.
I love Georgia. I think Georgia.
How's that for a hot take?
I gotta go S tier.
Oh, I did C tier for Georgia. Honestly, like, the only reason why I did, because I don't really have too much to say about Georgia, but I have, like, you know, seen some of, I've never been there, but I have seen, like, videos and pictures of Georgia's beauty and, you know, naturally, and some of the vibe there and stuff. I mean, so honestly, you know, I'm kind of wanting to slip it into B tier a little bit, but it'll be kind of like on the lower end of B tier. You know what I mean? Like a B minus or C plus. Wait, what did Kyle give an A tier? No, or an S tier. Georgia. He gave the state of Georgia an S tier. Oh, don't underestimate Snooki. Snooki wants Snook.
Maryland.
Snooki wants Snook.
I feel the same way about Maryland that I feel about, like, Connecticut.
Maryland.
But at the same time, I've gotten so many tickets going through Maryland because of my drive from New York to DC.
Oh, so got a problem. Okay, so police are kind of shitty in Maryland. Okay. I don't vibe with that. Maryland's got, like, you know, oh, we got some people out of state, huh? So they got, you know, some shitty fucking cops that like to do fucking traffic stops. Okay, I don't vibe with that. That's a problem. And also, ACAP Buck 12, I have to tell you all about that later in a little bit because of my friend. Anyway, but that aside, but it's just like, you know, so honestly, that really fucks with the vibe of Maryland, honestly, for me. And isn't, like, DC near it? Honestly, that explains it a little bit. Like, DC, like, is next to Maryland, right? Like, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So it's just like, if, you know, like, that explains it because they're like, oh, we're near the capital, so we need to have, like, a lot of police. Yeah, you know, so, yeah, it does. You know, I had to think about it for a second, but think about it, yeah, it was. So it's like, you know, honestly, it's a C tier. Like, I would fucks with it a little more, but I'm now thinking about the cops, and fuck 12, so, you know, it's a C tier because of that.
Would have been a C tier, but now it's demoted to a D tier.
Oh, Kyle even went a little hotter on that one. He put a little spice to that. Ooh, damn, Kyle going a little harsher. I wasn't as harsh. Honestly, it's just like, I never been there, so I guess that's why, but you know what? I respect Kyle's judgment on that one.
Everybody thinks about potatoes when they think of Idaho.
Oh, fuck Idaho. Fuck Idaho. Fuck Idaho. We're getting pure political. Nothing but politics. Fuck Idaho. Police state shithole. Fucking will literally have border stops at their goddamn border, you know, just to make sure that the fucking commie fucking hippy dippy stoners from Washington and Oregon don't be crossing their dirty devil's lettuce into fucking Idaho to taint their potatoes and shit and their fucking sancted fucking conservative shithole. Like, fuck Idaho. It's terrible. Like, I don't even know. Like, honestly, there is some natural, like, okay, here, I'll give like a few concessions. There is some natural beauty there. There, you know, there is like a lot of that type of shit. You know, like I do kind of fuck with some of the agriculture stuff a little bit, but I could get that in Oregon. Like, it's pretty much, same thing, but not as fucking shitty. So, you know, like, it's like, I mean, kind of, but not really. I mean, and then also, there's a lot of jokes that could come out of it, like, you know, hey, if I the hoe, you the hoe, and we all the hoe, you know, because I the hoe, you know, it's like, I mean, there's a lot of jokes that can come out of just the name of that state, you know, so there's, like, some stuff, I mean, out of there. I've been to that state, you know, a lot of times. I've traveled through that state back and forth to go to Montana mostly, or to go to Wyoming, and honestly, it sucks. It just does. Like, I mean, honestly. Like, at best, D tier, and it's just a fucking F tier, honestly, through and through. And at best, F tier, or D tier, at best. Like, honestly, like, it's a buns-ass state. Like, honestly, just, like, let Idaho be gobbled up by Montana, let that tiny little northern tip be taken by Washington, and let the rest of fucking Idaho be taken by Oregon. I don't even give a fuck. Take out the state. Like, just boo. Boo. Like, you know what? The colonial expansion of Oregon must continue forth. You know, we must, like, if they want, like, if the far-right dipshits want Greater Idaho to try to take one of our ports, you know what? We're just gonna take your entire state, bitch. How about that? We're gonna have, you know, Washington take the north a little bit. The eastern part of fucking Idaho will be taken by Montana. And you know what? fuck you. We're taking the rest of your shit. Boise will be our second capital, bitch. it's like, boom. Want some merch of Idaho? Well, we'll let them have it by conquering their shit. And then we'll do like a fucking Reconstruction era forced fucking reconstruction of that shit. Like, I mean, you know what? Hey, we'll play into their game and then we'll do the like Southern strategy Reconstruction era shit after the Civil War type of stuff. To be like, hey, you really thought you were on our side? Boo. So, hey, you know what? It's, there's a cost-benefit analysis, to the Oregon colonial expansionism. First is Delaware, because it's easy pickings. Easy pickings. So just let Delaware be conquered by us. We'll take, like the first state to have a Pacific and an Atlantic coast. We'll be one of the first states to have that. And, and then after that, Idaho. Because then we can use a lot of the fucking money that comes out of fucking Delaware to fund, the mass expansionism. Because obviously, there's going to be a fucking bunch of bitch-ass, bums-ass motherfuckers that are going to want to fight us. And, like, they're not going to take that kindly. But you know what? I don't give a fuck. So, that's what you got to do. I mean, it's just like, hey, it's cost-benefit analysis, but hey, it all works. Oh my god. YouTube, this is satire, by the way. Hope you realize this. You can never be too sure of YouTube sometimes, honestly. I mean, honestly, you can't really be too sure of any of these goddamn platforms anymore. I'm just gonna be fucking honest, but anyway. First was cereal, now states, lol. Dude, it was like sodas, or no, it was just drinks. And then it was cereal, and now it's states. And honestly, me and Rip City were pontificating on it a while back, after watching the second one he did. And honestly, we were guessing that he was going to do states. I don't know. Did we settle on that, Rip City? It was on stream when we did. Like, all we have to do is, like, go back when he did it last time. Because if we fucking, like, settled on... I think I settled with the states. Like, I think I might have predicted this. I don't remember. I'm, like, crossfaded as fuck, no lie. But, like, I feel like I predicted this. Or at least we did. I feel like we predicted it. Like, you and I, Rip. Like, honestly. Because I know we mentioned, like, what's next? The states? I know at some point we were mentioning that. You know, when he did the last one. I know that. I feel... Kyle's embraces soccer momdom. Not only that, but also... he's literally doing videos with his girl, and with his girl Crystal Ball, in fucking his soccer car, bro. He's doing it in his fucking suburban soccer vehicle, bro. Like, the only thing is missing is Soccer and the baby seat in the back. That's all that's missing, bro. Like, I mean, it's like, damn. Dude, Kyle's embraced the soccer mom within him, bro. Dude, he knows about the soccer mom memes, and he's embraced it. Like, he knows about it. And Crystal Ball was like, hey, let's just embrace the memes a little bit. You know what? Honestly, at first, I wasn't really a fan of Crystal Ball. In fact, I didn't really like her too much. But now I like her. I actually legitimately kind of like her. Dead ass. I kind of respect now. I have some respect. Like, it wasn't because she was with Kyle. It was because after that, I mean, you know, like, after her little spat with AOC and shit, a little bit on Twitter, well, not even really spat, it was more of her calling out, like, the silence of her ass and shit, because she stabbed the fucking union laborers in the back, you know, because of their fucking vote at Staten Island with Amazon and shit, by not being there and supporting them. Even Chris Smalls vindicated that shit by, you know, being on, what was it, MSNBC, I think, and saying, yeah, like, these politicians, you know, they said they were here to support us, but when it mattered most, they fucking weren't here. They didn't show up. They were not here. And that's just a fact. I mean, that's what he said. And it's like, and that's just a call out to, you know, bitches like AOC, just dead ass. Because, like, if you're not gonna fucking show up and then, like, last second be like, oh, I was there. Like, yeah, I mean, you deserve to be fucking called out. You know, so it's like, I mean, if anything, like, because of that, and also being vindicated a little bit, it's like, you know, I kind of, you know, I've been kind of respecting and kind of liking her a little bit. You know, I think Kyle's leftiness and, you know, like Crystal's like pro-laborness have like merged and made like some Super Saiyan levels of like shit going on, and honestly I like it. Like on both realms. I like, you know, I kind of like where Kyle's going a little bit, and I kind of like where Crystal Ball's been going, you know. It's, dude, like, wow, like, honestly, in a weird way, like, you know, because they're together, you know, and they're in a relationship now, and they're kind of, you know, having some no buns, you know, like, some vibes going down. I mean, it's kind of been good for both of them, I think. Oh, what's the likelihood that they marry, bro? What? Oh, dude, they're gonna do it within a year. I predict it within a year. Within a year from now, those two are getting married. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, son! Within a year. I'm calling it. Put it on record right here. I'm calling that. Within a year. What's the date? Like, what? April? So, April of 2023. If it doesn't happen, I don't know what's going on there. Beautiful lesbian couple. They will be a gorgeous lesbian couple that everyone should appreciate and absolutely just, you know, celebrate. Like, it's an absolutely beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. It needs nothing but pure celebration. Like, honestly, like, I mean, because I'm liking, like, this arc. I'm liking the Crystal Ball, Kyle Kalinske, like, duo arc that's going on here. I have been, honestly. Like, I initially wasn't a big fan of the whole, like, Crystal Kyle friends thing, just because, like, kind of, you know, even, like, you know, from, like, a week or so ago, I was saying, like, kind of Crystal's always rubbing me the wrong way, blah, 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 blah. But lately, I'm like, you know what? I've taken another look, and I'm like, no, she's not rubbing me the wrong way no more. All I can imagine Kyle is doing missionary. Oh, no, that's buns, bro. No shot. No shot, bro. Dude, Kyle's gotta be spicy, dude. He's got some spice. I don't know, man. Oh, dude, I can't believe we're not even halfway through this. Holy fucking shit. I mean, we're sunk cost fallacy in this, but we gotta look at this video. Because, honestly, this is interesting. This video is kind of interesting. I'm not even gonna lie. But what Kyle says in there is like, you know, it's about Jordan Peterson, but it's just like, he kind of talks about how, like, you know, there's this element of how people kind of, you know, like going for this whole, like, bad boy or bad girl kind of arc type of thing. You know, and that kind of goes, like, against the fray or against the grain, you know, and that shit. You know, and he kind of is like, yeah, I kind of, you know, think that's what people are kind of, you know, like a little bit. And, you know, and it's a little buns if you don't, you know, kind of type of shit a little bit. I don't know. So it's like, I feel like it's got some spice, you know. It's got a little bit of spice in the seltzer. You know what I mean? A little spice in the seltzer tank. No way Crystal lets him do back shots. Oh, what? No, you're not. Oh, man, that's like almost like, I feel like that's almost disrespectful to Crystal right there. You don't think she would do, like, you really think she wouldn't? Bruh, I don't know, dude. Dude, she strikes me as like the dominatrix, like, school teacher vibe, you know what I mean? Like, attention students, you know, like, I don't know, like, I'm just being honest with that one. Like, she strikes me as that a little bit. I don't know, bro. You really fucking... Nah. I don't know. I feel like that's, you know... It felt like we're, you know, we've missed the trajectory at that just a little bit. I feel like, you know, you missed that shot off the port bow just a little. You know, it's like, I don't know. I mean... I don't get free vibes from her. Strikes me as a librarian. That's what I mean. Like, that dominatrix librarian. Like, that, you don't necessarily have to be, you know, kink status with that. You don't necessarily have to be kink status with that, like a freak, you know what I mean? You know, you don't necessarily have to have freak vibes with that. It's just dominant vibes. You know, dominant librarian, like, are you gonna hush down to my library? You know, it's like, I don't know. She's not totally vanilla. She's not like a freak like me, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I mean, I don't think she's full on vanilla, bro. I really don't. She strikes me as having a little bit of spice, you know? Like those two have a little bit of spice and it complements each other. I feel like I was probably submissive. No. Oh my god. I feel like we're getting like our vibes mixed up a little bit. Kyle submissive? No way, bro. No. Like honestly, like Kyle's the top and Crystal Ball's the switch. That's my vibe off of it. Like Kyle's the top, Crystal's the switch. Because then, you know, Crystal can kind of, you know, play on to the dominance by doing power bottoms shit. You know what I mean? Like power bottoms and stuff, you know? So, like, I don't know, bro. What if Delaney somehow gets involved? Oh, God. I mean, what? Get just basically a bratwurst, you know, just all together and a bratwurst with a little squirt of mustard down the center. A little bit of, you know, some Grady Poupon. And then, you know, just, oh my God. Alright, I need to shut the fuck up. We are so far afield. Like, we were meaning to do this whole, like, go for all the states, and now we've just, like, forgotten. I let you power bottom me. Oh. Oh my. God damn it, I'm drunk enough to not give a fuck. Okay. We need to, like, turn fuck vessel back into the actual trajectory course that we were initially trying to take. So, you know what? I'm cheat coding this. We're just gonna look at the very end of this shit. We're just gonna see how buns this really is.
You dog, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Okay. So, yeah, Hawaii, Arizona, oh, God, yeah, Florida's there and shit, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so Nevada. Hold on, we'll just take it row by row. So, Nevada. I would actually put that at A tier. What the fuck is next to that? What is that, like, literal cock-looking, like, red rocket son of a bitch right there? What the fuck is that? Is that Tennessee? Nevada's S tier? Yeah, I guess so. Is that Tennessee? I think that's meant to be Tennessee, but for some reason it's upside down. Why is Tennessee a fucking S tier? I mean, I'd kind of put that in... probably like D tier, honestly. South Carolina, I'd probably put that in like B tier. California, we already did. Texas, ooh, Texas, I agree. Kyle put that in fucking A tier, alright. I know everyone disagrees with me, but whatever, fuck all of you. What the fuck is that? Oh, I think that's Vermont. Yeah, I'll put that in A tier. Is that Kentucky? Oh no, that's Virginia. Wait, why is that above West Virginia? Oh my god, I don't even want to know where West Virginia is. I don't even want to know where it is on here, because that would depress me. Oh wait, man, I see Tennessee down there. Wait, so what the fuck is that state up there? Oh, that's North Carolina. Wait, what? Is that North? What the fuck? So Tennessee's in B tier, so what the fuck is up in there in S tier? Right next to me. Oh, he put North Carolina and South Carolina together. Okay. Yo, what the fuck? Montana is in F tier. Okay, so New Jersey is in F tier. Good. We need to annex that as Oregonians properly. New Mexico is in F tier. What the fuck is... What? Oh, okay. Why did he put that in D tier for Idaho? He's fucking smoking crack. Hey, at least Oregon is above Idaho. Wait. Where's Washington? He put West Virginia in D tier? What the fuck is he smoking, dude? I'd put that in fucking A tier just on the labor history alone, bro. Louisiana's in B tier. I know TJ Kirk, the Amazing Atheist, lives there, and honestly, just for that alone, it enlightens the state so much more. I didn't know you're a hoe, ignorant. Shit, fuck off. Shut up. No, I'm not. Hey, Oregon's above Washington, too? That's all I care about. We're above Washington. We're good. I don't know why we're in C tier. We need to be in an S tier. Washington is an A tier because, you know, it's not, you know, it thinks it's better than us. But, you know, Oregon, easy S tier. Washington, A tier, can't be better than us. Idaho, F tier, we need to annex it. New Jersey, annex it. I mean, you know, like, why is Utah in B? That needs to be an F tier for the fucking Mormons alone, bro. What the hell? Wilbur Boggs didn't go far enough. Like, he needed to fucking, like, take out Joseph Smith himself, but he didn't get the chance. And by the way, his fucking mutton chops were fucking unironically base as fuck. Wilbur Boggs, bro. Utah, I put it C. The Mormons alone put that bitch in. You know, I'll be friendly. You know, I'll be nice. It's a D. I'll be nice with it, I guess. But ugh, my lord. But yeah, he's also doing these weird ass fucking like.
Kyle here in the wild, as you.
Hi guys, we're in a soccer car.
So I saw a video the
We're
other
in a
day.
soccer mom car.
It was Jordan Peterson talking to some like evolutionary biologist or whatever. I'm not sure if that's his exact
Evolutionary
title.
biology.
And
Whoa.
they were having this like academic or pseudo-academic conversation around the notion that women like bad boys and why is it that women like bad boys. And so their theory is, so just the gist of it is, bad boys sort of give off qualities that mimic real-world competence. So when you think of a bad boy, you think of like somebody who's really arrogant or cocky or overly confident, and they can sort of command a following, command a crowd. They, you know, if you really think of bad boys, it's almost like they have people who follow them, like they're a leader, and they, you know, have friends that are tag-alongs, kind of, and so the idea is,
Oh my god, Kyle.
those sorts of qualities mimic real-world competence, because if somebody is competent in the real world,
guess.
then they could usually take care of their business, pay the bills.
Take Gary Bills. They have like a 19-minute back and forth, literally in a soccer van. Not even kidding.
Is like individualism and freedom. We've sort of embraced those values.
What are these fucking glasses? They're so reflective.
Like, you know, when you talk about LGBTQ rights, there's a broad acceptance now of LGBTQ rights. And the idea is, look, this is who you are, so you do whatever you want to do, basically, as long as you're not hurting anybody else. And I feel like, dating-wise, we have the same sort of thing going on. I agree with you that in, like, a more authoritarian-type culture where you're given even harder rules, then maybe, quote-unquote, the bad boy would not be viewed as favorably, would not be viewed as attractive. But when you remove any sort of authoritarian framework, then I think people will revert to those base instincts, which is like, there is a reason to find the bad boy attractive, and I would argue there's even a reason to find the bad girl attractive by those same standards. I mean, maybe it's slightly different when you factor in gender roles, but the gender roles, to your point, I think are very largely socially constructed with maybe some biology in there as well. Does that make sense? It was nature and nurture is the...
Boo! It's all socially constructed, Kyle. Your nonsense. Your soccer mom is showing. How dare you, you lib. Trying to be a centrist in it all. You and your soccer van. Your soccer mom lesbian van, you son of a bitch. How dare you. Got some base instincts for you, Ignat. Oh my god, we're just all we've devolved, haven't we? Scritching that booty. Scritching that booty. I'm gonna be a big boy that's just big boofy. This sweet little thing. Look at you. You're so cute. Return to monkey. Return to monkey. Return to monkey. Return the monkey. What the welcome? Oh my god. Oh. Yes. Billy. I'm just kidding. Like if you weren't, you probably would be like timed out or banned or something, wouldn't you? I mean, you're still chilling, still vibing. This little Lulu. You're a sweet little baby, you know that? You're so cute. Goddamn it, Nathan. My goodness. Good lord. My fucking goodness. Man, Venom and that dude whose name I can't spell are fighting hard over Ignore. Dude, yeah, like it's like a gladiatorial simp battle, bro. What if your little boy lie next to mine? I mean, I'm just inebriated now, so now I'm just easily amused. So don't take offense if I happen to giggle at everything at this point. I just need to take up a referee role or something. It's not gay if it's a freeway. What if it's just all men, though? That's the thing. If it is, then if it's all men, then it's like absolutely hella gay. I have an agreement with Morrison we share. Yeah. He actually hit me up recently. He's been kind of silent for a while, but he said he wasn't really doing 100%. So it's like, damn. I want to get better. He's my bro. He's a bro from another home. Okay, that was kind of awful, but. Interference at third. Tim blows whistle, holds up all arms. Interference at 30 yard. Inappropriate touch, a penalty, 10 yards. Resettling the first 20. Oh my god. So don't worry about McPortion. I haven't heard any in a long while. Yeah, the only thing he's honestly said was just like. So he hit him up the other day. Didn't respond today, saying not doing good. And just simply said what's going on, you know. And then Venom and I have been, you know, wanting to reach out, been trying to. And he basically just says, like, yeah, you can if you want. It's referring to you, hitting him up. It's just like, well, that doesn't really explain what's going on. So it's just like, ugh. I mean, it definitely sucks, especially, you know, when you don't know what's really happening. You know, when it's like an online friend, especially. But, you know, at the same time, it's just like, it's at least good to know that, you know, he's, you know, alive and well enough to where he's, like, around. Yeah, at the very least. But I kind of think about, like, Demon Mama, like a BreadTube streamer on Twitch and YouTube. She actually kind of does this kind of like her own like little rules for life, and it's really, and she actually keeps it very simple to like basically like to like I think like 3 or 4 or something like that. But she really just says that there's only really one, and basically the only rule is like the first rule is basically is don't die. Like that's her first rule to the rules of life, essentially, at least in her idea. And it's just like, yeah, like basically it's like as long as you can achieve the first rule you're at least, doing good in life enough. At least, because, as long as you're, she's, like, done multiple different, like, little lectures and pep talks, to her chat and shit, which I actually think is, useful, honestly, even for me. Where it's just, like, where she'll explain, like, yeah, even though, like, everything is, like, fucked and you might be, like, homeless or this or that, or whatever the fuck, it's like, as long as you're alive and breathing and shit and above ground, you're doing something good at least, so it's just like, yeah, sure enough. I mean, especially given the circumstances in the world as it stands now, I mean, yeah, like, I mean, at the very least, I think that's, the best rule to live by right now. So, yeah, rule 1 of life right now, don't die. Remember, we all die. Well, I mean, the idea of the rule is to don't fucking accelerate that. It's like, yeah, we all eventually do, but, don't have that come quicker than it needs to, So, but yeah, fundamentally, I agree with it. I definitely think it's an important rule to at least, kind of put any ideas in your head. Because essentially, I kind of go by that rule now at this point. Like, even, at the lowest of lows now, it's just like, yeah, don't die, and you should be good. It's like, alright, pretty self-explanatory, but also, it should be pretty, easy to do. Because it's easy, to not die, but it's also very easy to die. So, just keep it minimal and just don't die. Rule 1. So, close I like Mr. Husky to read are too big to fit in 200 characters. Just do kind of like a part 1/part 2. Like, type of thing. Like, put, like, one chunk of it, and then the other chunk. It's a good start, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's at least something. I mean, she also kind of extrapolates, expands it, further, because she has other little rules, but I kind of forget them right offhand. I just know her first one because, well, it sticks to me at least, especially of how she's explained it in, like, the multiple different ways she's had. But nonetheless, I mean, it's just like, as long as you're, well, not dead, then you're at least doing something good. So as long as you keep achieving the first rule, which is very easy to do, then you should be okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world, just because, shit really is fucked. I mean, fuck, I mean, even for me, shit isn't exactly 100%. I mean, honestly, especially given just economics, circumstances, it just won't be the case. But, nonetheless, I ain't dead, so that's a good thing. And, also, it's just like, it definitely could be worse. I mean, I could be, like, in Ukraine or something. I could be homeless, like, in one of the different, like, tents, like, little Wheelervilles in fucking Portland or some shit. There could be all sorts of different fucking circumstances. So, it's like, if anything, like, Demon Mama's, like, whole first rule idea is more so of, like, yeah, realize that it is fucked, so there's no reason to die. So, don't, that's basically the whole idea. Which, again, self-explanatory and easy to do. Especially when you kind of realize that it isn't as bad as, you might make it out to be. Especially if your brain is one to tend to extrapolate or, like, hyperbolic, make everything very hyperbolic when it comes to shit being fucked. I know my brain tends to do that sometimes. And I definitely have to try to reel it in every now and then. And some people probably have to deal with that way fucking worse than I do. So, it's like, but nonetheless, I can definitely relate to it. Hard part is the frightened reason to live. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But honestly, I think at the very minimal, at least, I think one reason, at the very least, is just to see how the fucking world ends up being like. It's like, it's a fucking crazy, insane world of who knows what the fuck is going on, to the point where, unironically, at least in America, there's some shit that's just starting to, like, mimic parody. Like, I mean, it's like there's jokes now where it's like, how's the Onion not been bankrupt yet? Like, there's people joking now and like that. Where it's like, I didn't think that would even be the case. So it's just like, I mean, you know, at the very minimal, I might as well just stick around to see what goes on, you know, see what the fuck happens. At the very least. You know, because, yeah, like, at least for me, you know, I'd like to see what happens in, like, the next 50-something fucking years. See what the hell happens. Is it probably going to be good? Probably not, but hey, you know, I'd rather stick around and check it out. You know, live my tenure and see how it is. You know, at the very least. But, of course, you know, I want to at least try to not make it bad, you know, so at least, you know, to what power I can have and the influence that I can, and, you know, it's like, you know, try to make it at least a little better, and there's ways that you can, you know, and honestly, I think there's, you know, a lot of elements, at least especially right now, that, you know, can show that, at least especially locally, there can be, you know, change that can help, you know, not just for yourself, but for everyone around you, too. Especially when it comes to things like labor and, you know, more direct action and looking a little bit more so outside of electoralism, at least in the meantime, to take more of this direct action approach. And, you know, especially when it comes to, like, a more offensive, you know, approach towards unionization and shit. Like the nepotist Jimmy Hoffa being taken out and having O'Brien, a openly described militant type of pro-union laborer, you know, being in the Teamsters. Like, I mean, a lot of these different things are just very positive outcomes, including the Amazon labor union getting their first warehouse established as a union fulfillment center. So there's a lot of different things that's just like, you know, if, you know, funneling it in and putting a lot of the chips into those fucking bets, like, there might be a couple defeats here and there and shit, but at the end of the day, I mean, it ends up having a lot of ripe fruit to bear. And we're seeing some of that now. I mean, it's just going to keep going for the next couple of years. I mean, it's just a start. You know, we'd like to live to see thermonuclear war. We all may. I don't want that. And honestly, if we do, I would say this, at least for the people who are in the Pacific Northwest, I think we have it better than most people in the world. One, there's not many targets in the Pacific Northwest that require nukes. There might be a few, but not a lot. Like, not like the East Coast or the Midwest even, or like, you know, in other places in the world. But two, we're still going to feel a lot of the fucking ramifications. Like, a lot of, like, honestly, if you want to see a lot of the long-term ramifications of what that could be, at least, like, simulated to the best, like, ways that people have done that, watch the movie Threads. It's a 1984 film from England, and honestly, it does not beat any fucking, like, it doesn't beat around the bush at all. It's a fucking, like, it's honestly one of the few horror movies I actually legitimately find very nightmarish. Like, legitimately nightmarish. And for good fucking reason. I mean, because honestly, it's just like, it basically, Testament's a good one also. Ooh, I haven't heard of that one. But yeah, like, at least for Threads, I mean, especially when it comes to after the bombs drop, and it shows, like, the net, you know, not just, you know, the, you know, short-term effects, like, you know, the next couple months and, like, the next year, but it shows, like, the next decade and the next 13 years. And I think about as far as it goes about is maybe 15 years. And it's just, it's honestly fucking nightmarish. It's honestly really hard to describe without sounding like a literal doom and gloom fucking, you know, terrifying everybody. Like, honestly, I mean, and honestly, it's a very impactful film and for good reason. At least when it comes to a horror film in general, it's definitely, you know, worth a watch. I mean, it's kind of built as like a documentary in a sense, you know, kind of like going through, you know, the perspective of, you know, one girl who got married and, you know, is about to have a kid and all this and shit. And then, you know, the bombs drop and then fucking, you know, she lives, you know, amongst, you know, a lot of the different people. And it's just like, and honestly, even, you know, for the people that do survive, it's, it's like it really is like, when people say the lucky ones are the ones that don't survive the initial blasts, like the ones who initially get vaporized and shit. It's like, yeah, they really probably are. I mean, it's like there probably is going to be some places in the world that are going to fare better, like Australia, like, or New Zealand, that's why you got like a lot of rich motherfuckers building bunkers in New Zealand, because like there's nothing vital or important over there in New Zealand, for example, or in Australia, or some of these other islands, out in the Pacific, for example, or or like in Africa, or maybe in South America. Like there's going to be different places in the world that aren't going to be heavily impacted, or where there's going to be maybe at worst maybe a couple nukes, and at best maybe none at all. I mean, so there's going to be some places where it won't be as heavily impacted outside of the radiation from, the impacts from everywhere else around the world. It depends, but nonetheless, I mean, it probably won't be as heavily infected. But, when it comes to radiation, I memean, the whole world will feel that, no matter what. Doesn't matter where the fuck you are at that point. Especially when it comes to, like, UV light. Like, that's good. That's one thing in the movie Threads that actually, the movie, like, The Day After in America, which, funny enough, the movie The Day After actually shifted Reagan's foreign policy of the USSR to be more reconciliatory versus more hawkish. It's because that movie actually kind of made him, like, scarred a little bit because of how scary it was. Despite Threads legitimately being more of a fucking scary film. Like, if you watch Threads, I imagine he would be like, let's not do this, please. Yeah, can we be friends? Like, he'd probably be a lot more quick to draw with that one. But the Brits got that. But nonetheless, I mean, it's just like, I mean, it never really went as far to show, like, the long-term impacts, of that type of shit. Where it's just like, some of the long-term damage when it comes to, nuclear war is that, there's going to be a lot of UV light that gets through on the planet, and that is utterly damaging to the human body. Like, you're more likely to get cataracts, like the likelihood of getting cancer and leukemia skyrockets to fucking oblivion. Like, all this shit, like, when it comes to survivability, when being out in the sun and exposed to the sun, it just goes down. So it's like in the movie Threads, you see, like, these farmers and, like, these serf peasants who are literally, like, draped in, like, thick robes to try to cover themselves from UV light, and have, like, these goggles and, all this shit to try to protect themselves, and even then it's to no avail for the most part. It's just like, it's insane. I mean, it's like, and when you look at it that way, it's like, yeah, the lucky ones would be the ones who initially got fucking vaporized, because it's like, I mean, who wants to be in that? Like, oh god. And even then, like, you would have to fucking, like, turn over all of your crops and shit, so your first batch of crops after the bombs fall, like, they won't be good. And even then, for, like, the next couple for at least, like, the next couple of years, they won't be really that good or sufficient either, and they would have to adapt themselves, to a lot of this shit as well. I mean, it's just like, it would bring us back down to square one very quickly. It's like they say, like, the Fourth World War would be fought with sticks and stones, right? That depends on a lot. I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously there's caveats and a lot of different aspects and variables to it, but on a general level, it's not good. I mean, but, I mean, either way, it's like, I will say this, like, the likelihood, I think, of, like, the nukes falling, so to speak, I don't really think that's likely gonna happen. I mean, and I hope not. I mean, I do think there's still a possibility, and there's always a caveat, but even with the circumstances right now, like, even the rich motherfuckers realize that, yeah, that wouldn't be good for them, because how would it keep them maintaining their profits? Oh, the status quo will be heavily affected by this. It's just like, I mean, some of them kind of maybe want it a little bit, but they're literally at the range and unhinged, and God fucking damn Reagan for closing insane asylums, because God fuck, we need him now more than ever. Like, seriously. Like, ugh. It won't be like Chernobyl's Red Forest, but yes, everything will be contaminated somewhat. Well, it won't be like Chernobyl's Red Forest. I mean, obviously not. I mean, but if we want to look at examples of what that could look like, I mean, look at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I mean, even I think today, like, you know, there's still there's still a negative impacts from those fucking bombs that are dropped on those cities. I mean, not so much anymore, especially I think because a lot of the contaminated dirt and shit was buried elsewhere, like it was all collected and then buried somewhere. I actually forgot where, but you know, it's just like either way, yeah. I mean, you know, it's just like to this day, like those cities, you know, you know, from my understanding, you know, still get impacted from that. Now, I don't know how much at this point. I mean, you know, but there's still definitely long-term effects to the populace and shit. From those nuclear bombs dissipated rather quickly. Because they exploded in the air. Like, they didn't immediately, like, you know, fall all the way and hit the ground. And if you have an air burst explosion, you know, even if it's very close to the ground, most of the radiation will dissipate. But a lot of the impacts mostly came from the generationally because the survivors. You know, and a lot of the impacts from the radiation and from those bombs come from the survivors of those bombs. And I mean, especially when it comes to, I think, you know, the long-term impact, that's where you know, where to look for. And I mean, we still see a lot of ramifications from that. Actually, ignore nuclear war wouldn't be that bad. I can show you a video from Addison improving it. Oh God, please don't. Don't remind me of that post, dude. That one post that he had about that shit was, I honestly thought was unironically unhinged. Like, honestly, because that was, oh my God. Especially after watching the movie Threads. He's like, it won't be that bad. It's like, okay, maybe you need to watch a movie, buddy. Watch a film. You might be enlightened a little. For 8% of all residual radiation, 24 hours. Research indicate 24 hours after bombing, the quantity of residual radiation a person received. That epicenter would be 1/1000th of the quantity received immediately following explosion. But that, I mean, I guess that kind of plays a role from, you know, how much was in the following explosion. You know, and if it's 1/1000th, obviously it's not that much, but I mean, there's also things that are going to be contaminated with radiation as well. And while, yeah, a lot of the initial radiation will dissipate, there's going to be a lot of stuff that will be contaminated with it too. Are way different than nuclear plant fallout? Well, yeah. I mean, there's going to be differences, nonetheless. I'm not saying they're both the same, because, I mean, if that would be just dumb. But, I mean, when it comes to at least radiation, at least when it comes to the direct impact of what that does, I mean, we can at least, you know, look at, you know, the impacts of it. And at least when it comes to how it affects things, like we know that it does contaminate stuff, you know, when exposed to it. And, you know, can have residual radiation to it too, but over time will dissipate. You know, and, you know, so when it comes from an explosion versus a, you know, nuclear plant breakdown or, you know, meltdown and shit, you know, there's going to be differences. But, you know, from what we know from the radiation, you know, when it comes to either factor, you know, there is overlaps, but the severity of a bomb going off, and when it comes to the initial radiation, isn't as much in comparison to a fallout from the meltdown of a, you know, nuclear plant. At least when it comes to just things being contaminated overall. Because it'll not be, you know, contaminated as much in comparison, because it'll dissipate over time. But, I mean, still, there'll definitely be things, you know, the closer to the epicenter, the more contaminated it would be with radiation. But the farther away you are, the less likely things are going to be contaminated with it. If you are hit with energy from the blast, you all you have to contend with is fallout, you'll probably survive, especially if you have access to iodine. Yeah, that is true. Like, nowadays especially, there are things to where it makes nuclear, like, apocalypse hellscape a lot more survivable. But, I mean, civilization and a lot about, you know, how society is as we know will most certainly be, like, back to square one. But we would have a lot of stuff to kind of help us, you know, rebuild from square one to, like, where we are now. But it would take, you know, a few hundred years. I mean, it's like, is nuclear war going to be the extinction of humanity? No. Honestly, what really is going to be climate change, but nuclear war ain't going to be it. I mean, nuclear war is what's going to, like, fuck us, significantly, and the planet and everything else, besides, but it's not going to be the end sayer of everything. I mean, I will give that. So, Duggan, yeah. I mean, things like with mutually assured destruction, I mean, it's kind of hard to, like, do that. But, I mean, we do have, like, countries like, Israel's been secretly getting nukes. Pakistan and India both have them. I mean, it's like Russia and the US do. I mean, it's like, there are, like, these countries that make it, like, and honestly, I feel like, realistically, if there's any country who were probably going to drop the bombs first, it would probably, honestly, in my mind, be India or Pakistan. That's just my opinion, personally. Like, I feel like, those two countries would probably drop the bombs first than any of the superpowers would, because I feel like the superpowers are a little bit, not really smarter, but a little bit more rational with it. Like, Pakistan and India are a lot more, like, religiously fundamentalist with a lot of their culture and society, so with that in mind, it's just like, swing, put that and nukes together, and you got a fucking horrible combination you do not want. So it's just like, it's all, because that is just literally only a matter of time. Like, there's no way in hell that, those, two are rationally going to be able to, like, look at the mad doctrine and think, yeah, let's not launch nukes. Like, if anything, they're going to probably use the nukes as, a way to start their holy prophecy of, like, the end times or some shit, so, like, if anything, don't want that. So, at least for me, like, I feel like those two countries are probably, one of those two, I don't know which one. I'm not really going to pick sides on which one would start first, but I feel like one of those two, at least, would do it. Like, but that's just me. And, I guess Israel too, maybe. But honestly, probably, maybe them. Because, like, if they can, eventually do, like, hey, we're, like, openly, doing our own nuclear development, even though they already have, like, 50 different nukes as it is. It's just, like, that we gave them open, like, quietly under, in the background. So they could be like, hey, we're doing, like, a nuclear weapons research. And then, like, out of nowhere, like 2 months later, they'd be like, we completed one, and they just drop it, like, somewhere in, like, the Middle East, and it's just like, see, now we got, the power and the might in the Middle East, blah, blah, blah. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like maybe, like, so now 3 countries, like, Pakistan, India, or Israel. Like, one of those 3 would drop it first. Like, dead ass. And also, those are the countries that we know have nukes, by the way. Like, there's plenty of countries that could have them, but we don't know. Or at least we don't know how many they really have. Like, North Korea has some, but we don't really know how many. Israel, we know, has some. But they, well, officially don't. But it's just known that America's giving it to them. And America and Russia, and formerly USSR, have a bunch. UK and France have a few. China does. I mean, but it's likely that there could be some other countries out there, maybe, like, like, I don't think Iran does. I think that'd be dumb. But, there's definitely some other countries out there that are likely to probably maybe have 1 or 2 themselves. I mean, Taiwan could. I mean, they could probably have 1 or 2 themselves that the U.S. donated. Like, I mean, like, Israel, what? You think Israel's probably the only country the U.S. gave nukes to? I mean, it's probably likely that fucking, Taiwan might have 1 or 2. I mean, I doubt it, but maybe. Again, because at least, there's countries that we know have nukes, but there's also a possibility that, there's other countries that might have some themselves. I mean, because there's, like, old-ass stockpiles and shit, and there's some that aren't accounted for. And there's, like, old dirty bombs and missing nukes and shit. Russia's openly missing a few nukes. America has admitted to losing nukes in the ocean. Not just the ocean either, by the way. But there's been a few times where they've had to drop them and have, like, whoop, just kind of lost it. And it's just like, where'd that go? Well, mistakes. So that's something you can hide. Radiation as a way of showing itself. Or at least back in the day, the USSR and the American government were too incompetent to really realize that. Nowadays, probably so. Which is why I feel like, some countries, probably do, but, they have it stockpiled and hidden away somewhere. I mean, it's like, if Israel has, 50 that we gave them, I mean, there's a possibility that Taiwan might have, 5 or something like that. But the likelihood of, that being a possibility is honestly, in my mind, maybe 2%. 98% chances that they don't. Honestly. I mean, realistically. But, I mean, there's a 2% chance that there's a maybe, because, again, if Israel got some because of us, then it's likely that there's probably other countries that have benefited from that, too. I wish radioactive stuff worked like that and did follow our nukes. Man, I might become an immortal ghoul. I mean, I wish to, but nah. That also would probably be horrible and existential pain forever. So probably not. We have special satellites that take signatures from shots, from photos. Well, goddamn. Well, shit. All this nuke talk is actually making me want to play a song from a band I just discovered. It's called the Great American Taxi. No, atomic bomb shots. Well, yeah, atomic bomb shots. I mean, just because a country might have one doesn't mean they've tested them. By detonating them and shit. Shot Baker. Oh, okay. Once detonated, it's called shot. Oh, okay. I actually didn't know that. But, yeah. But, I mean, if because, for example, if Israel has, some nukes, I mean, then at that point, it's just then they didn't test any. But America's giving them some, obviously. So it's at that point, they don't necessarily need to overtly, test any if they know they've gotten some that work, So my next craft work. Hey! What's up, my dude? The Twitch die. Well, no, it's more like that Twitch decided to murk me. Because of a bunch of poll rating dipshit fucktards. So, I've been over here. And also, I updated my hat drip. I actually just got this recently. And on the back of it, I have a Cascadian flag patch. That honestly fits really nicely with the colors on it. The subdued Cascadian flag colors actually fit pretty nicely. And it keeps the back of it up on it pretty good. So, my tactical tricorn. I need some smaller patches to kind of put right here to kind of help keep these up a little bit. Because some Velcro right here, too. So, yeah, so. Oh, baby. Come here, Zeus. He's such a baby. Look at you. You've just been a sleepy boy, haven't you? Ignite started to confess like good somebody. Are you wearing that? Are you wearing that ironically? What, a tricorn hat? I'm a sucker for tricorn hats. I actually like tricorn hats. What, you think I'm getting colonial on you? No, I'm going revolutionary, bitch. You know I was revolutionary. I'm just going all the way with it now at this point. I will admit that the shop that I did buy from, I could tell has some definitely libertarian anarcho-capitalist vibes. Just based on what I've seen. I've never seen one wearing seen someone wear one non-ironically. We need to get out more, I guess, lol. It's rare, but I actually have seen people wear one before. It's rare, but I have seen it before.
I got the radiation blues. Radiation blues.
Well, I technically got a Gap Boy hat myself. I mean, honestly, it's what I normally would be wearing. Sounds like country. This is like rockabilly blues. So does Bothers fit around the front? Yeah. At least the back with this patch actually kind of helps keep it a little bit more nicely fit. Spicy. I can see why I said it as what. Yeah, it's actually kind of nice and comfortable. Though I will say, when it comes to like protection from the sun, it does not do shit. It's like, hey, I got some sun in my face. Well, it literally does the exact opposite of trying to protect you from that. When it comes to rain, it actually isn't really too bad. But this is more of a tactical tricorn. Here, I can actually look up the shop for y'all so you can check it out. You gonna get one yourself. Sadly, the fedora has sadly been ruined by dude bros. A little bit though. Here. But it's a multicam version too. Look at this dude. He looks so happy. He looks so happy with that on. He's like, yeah. I got my tricorn. I'm happy. Ah. Then you got this guy with the goggles on. He looks so fucking goofy with it. But I love it. But yeah, has the little patches on there, so actually putting some patches on this really does actually help keeping it kind of stand up a little bit more and keep its shape. So at least especially for the back. That's why I got this patch on there back there. Joe Rogan was Serena Jax for stand-up last night and hosted UFC. I served like 7 guys in their 40s wearing fedoras and it was cringe. Oh god! Which sucks because that hat is rad. Here, hold on. I actually want to play this. It's on Save Album, but I should have a song about Blair Mountain on here. It's just like, what? It actually fucking slaps.
In the West Virginia Coalfields, back in 1921, the National Guard, State Police, and the Coal Company guns shot down 100 miners.
Hey, baby.
Bosses saw us
Come here.
and up on Old Bear Mountain,
Oh,
we go to the strong. But it marched out of the fort when Sid Hatfield was shot down at the Logan County Courthouse. Cold cops fired around. 10,000 Union soldiers were bloody bingo bound, and they say up on their mound.
Who's the boo boo?
But the goal is all that matters. We still walk around.
No, it's a boo boo. Who's a goofy boopy booey?
We're walking on that mountain, brings the fight out of me.
Who's a BB poof?
Thinking of the good man and the fat cat company. Now I wanna tear Blair Mountain down to a race to Tambourine.
He's such a
A little
goof.
bit of coal, used to sell across the sea. Blair Mountain, bombs keep raining down. Machine guns on the ridge line, turn the Union round. They say that mountain's only where the coal is in the ground.
Come on, Colin's still going through? Yes.
All those miners
I sees it.
till I walk around.
Where's the go for jump?
Well, it's a fight to make a living.
Skin Common jumped in.
Fight to
Huh?
get along. It's a fight back in the hills over what is right or wrong. They made the mountains
Yeah.
under.
It's a
The
little
fight's
bit.
still going on. 'Cause there won't be much to fight for at Blair Mountain.
Yeah, YouTube chat kind of sucks. Yeah, it kind of does a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
Bombs keep raining down.
But, I mean,
Machine guns on the ridge line.
it's better than nothing, I suppose. But also, I do have a puppo here. He's sitting in a browser window for too long, starts to fall behind. Yeah. I mean, yeah, YouTube is a little fucking kind of finicky when it comes to live streams in a lot of ways. What the fuck, bro? What'd you do for your tail? You just knocked something over, you cunt. Ugh. Oh, you big old chunk. Oh, little chunk. Oh.
Hitchhiked across Tennessee, I was thinking about you and me. And if I could get out of here, I don't care about the souvenirs. I'll get back on the road home to you. But this old car keeps breaking down, and you know
Yeah, cool.
I hate to burn.
Really got good quality, heavy tools, really bad UI and bad backend. Yeah.
Trust about to rust.
It was a boodle. I just got a taste of pure coil. That means I must need more THC juice. Yeah, probably. Who's boodle?
Through the valleys and I played, wishing things could be the same. I wouldn't trade it for anything. Cross the great divide. Get back on the road, home to you.
But Twitch is where people are at. If you're trying to make some of streaming, Twitch is where you gotta do. Yeah. Which I gotta figure. I still need to try to get a more direct link of Twitch. Meet a human. Gotta get to a human to deal with that. Is that right, baby? Yes. I know vaping is horrible for you, but smoking is the only way I can get my cannabis fixed right now. I mean, it's just like... I mean, honestly, from what I understand, like, I guess smoking flower could technically be, like, a little worse for you than vaping. You goofy baby. You goofy baby boy. Oh my goodness. You big goof. You're such a goofball. Ugh. Here. Play another little tune. Why?
The sun was shining.
Do you see his one letter from Thick?
What you're trying
The more you
to
know.
find out by moving from the suburbs.
Getting all up on this thick dick.
If you're looking for a base where you might find your place by buying and developing property. If when you see a city block, your first instinct is to knock it down and build something new. If you think it's funny to make yourself some money, regardless of the renters that you screw. If you seek self-definition as you carry out your mission to accumulate all the wealth you can, then let me help you in your quest, you seekers of the West, for there's a need for people with such plans. Yuppie scum, yuppie scum, yuppie scum.
Oh, you were just licking your ass and you just licked my face. You
Yuppie
fuck.
scum, yuppie
You scum.
Fuck
Fuck off.
If when you see a diner, you think it would be finer if the place sold tapas and sake.
That's tight.
If you just see perfection.
What, getting licked in the face after you just had a little bit of a little ass cleanliness action?
When folks like you succeed,
Little pup.
swimming in your greed, creating a new world in your image.
You know what, your punishment?
Feel some pangs of
Flipping your
guilt
ears.
about the buildings that you built, but you figure change always causes scrimmage. And besides, you rationalize as you watch your high-rise rise. What you're doing is all within the law. You're sure these people know there are other places they can go. Just ignore the homeless families that you saw. Yuppie scum, yuppie scum, yuppie scum, fuck off. Yuppie scum, yuppie scum, fuck off.
He's just looking at me like all offended.
You are one of those who senses where the wind blows, so you decide
Now you're starting to look like more of an adult. Now you look more like a goof with these little ears all flipped. Hey.
The window dressing, give the little babies each a kiss. Act like you really
Yeah,
care.
gotta give every baby
Rearrange
kiss.
the deck chairs as you watch the homeless families shiver. Make a sympathetic sound as developments abound, and you sell the working class right down the river. If you lament the situation from the comfort of your station, then you say the city's
This
hands
goof.
are tied. If you'd rather count your stocks than think outside the box, there is no question that you close and sides. Yuppie scum, yuppie scum, yuppie scum, fuck off. Yuppie scum, yuppie scum, fuck off. Yuppie scum, yuppie scum, yuppie scum, fuck off. Yuppie scum.
Come on, fight for it. Do
yuppie
something.
scum, fuck off.
You lazy bones. You're lazy bones.
Okay, there's a schnozzle.
He's a lazy bones. Well, that sounded like the sound of a screeching banshee from the Demon of Revelations right there.
No, it's the sound of a bone stuck underneath the door.
Well, yeah, but Demon from Revelations, that sounds accurate, yeah. Oh, his baby! Oh my god, your leg! Ah! Ah, your leg is going nuts! Stop scratching me! Ah! Oh fuck! They're sneezing me? You fucking prick. That's what you did to me. That's what you get. Hi. Hello. Is it easy to get too high on that sometimes? Oh, one of those volcanoes. I really gotta get like a fat rip off one of those bad boys one of these days. Not even gonna lie.
Okay, it's cold and wet.
Is it snowing? Because apparently it's supposed to be snowing. Apparently.
Well, it feels like it can snow, but it's raining.
Oh. Ooh, yeah, it's cold. Jesus.
But the temperature is right at that snow temperature.
You flipped an ear. You got an ear flipped. How am I going there?
According to my bones.
Going to my bones, it's cold as shit.
Exactly. But it's still liquid water. It's got
It's just booty. Yeah, then we got snow here still coming down. You're getting snow? Man, I want some snow. What's this bitch ass shit? Just boo. You literally are hugging me with your like your feet here. Like you got your legs surrounding my waist. You're like looped around on my lap. What are you doing?
Get a little bit lighter. No, it's gonna be coming down good.
The fuck? There's actually snow? Yeah, there's a winter advisory apparently. Who's the baby? You look like you're just sick of my shit. He just stared at me and was like, must I deal with your existential pain and evil all this time? And yes, he must. He must. You're just a sweet baby. I'd love to be hugging you. I want to know what Zukov thinks of you. He probably thinks that I'm a ridiculous little prick, but he loves me, you know, ever so, because I give him treats and spoil him. I just look out the window and we fucked. We fucked! I love that! I looked out the window. Yeah, it looks like we're fucked. I love the way he just said that. Oh my god. Oh, dude, my bladder, bruh. You fucked my bladder. Ow. Oh. You're like 60 pounds a chunk. Ugh. I had enough of my lap. Are you ready to like run free? Yes, you are. He's like, I'm sick of you. Get away from me. I'm done with your shit. I got a special treat for you though. Do it again. Do it again. I mean, I would, but I got a bladder to address. But I kind of want to give him a little something first. Actually, I should probably wait to give him this. Look at you. You are just wanting this. Hold on a little while. You goof. Here, you make him dance. You make him sing some tunes in with this. Here. I will chuck this at you. Here. Oh, no. Oh, you got it. Oh, shit. Zukov. No. Oh, fuck. Well, you were supposed to grab it.
Well, my grab was quite fast enough. Well, whatever it is, he's chewing on it. So.
It's like a rawhide, but it's got like some other shit to it. I don't know. When the mom put my head on the lap. Oh. I guess fair enough. But here. Go to the bathroom real quick, but before I do, Play a little tune. Be right back. What? Ah! Whoa! Look at you.
I came to this country, left
Oh
Scotland
my God,
far
I'm
behind, evicted from the highlands, told to go and find a new life in America, across the Atlantic Sea, where I joined the millions of other refugees who ended up at Ellis Island as the century began. The wretched of the earth from every foreign land. When I came to this country, broken and bereft, I quickly saw I'd have been no worse off if I'd never left. Such awful deprivations as I'd never had to face, born by Swedes and Russians, Africans, and every other race. Millions of people trying not to end up dead from cholera or black lung or being clubbed on the head. I came to this country to have something on my fork. It was obvious the first thing was to get out of New York. I learned to hop the freight trains, some other stiffs and I caught a westbound rattler to give Oregon a try. Signed up for the logging camps, became a timber beast. If I'd stayed there any longer, I'd have surely been deceased. When I came to this country, I worked the copper mines in Butte. I was a dandy dancer in Spokane in a dandy dancer suit. I heard the rebel girl speak one night in a railway yard. I joined the union right away and got my first red card. Became a hobo organizer for the one big union grand, preaching the wobbly gospel across the sky land.
It's horrible out there. Boo.
When I came to this country, I'd seen enough lost track of the number of times I helped a billy club upon.
One of the ways it's possible to stalk yourself.
Times I saw the tents with freezing kids working in the mines instead of living on the skids. How many times I heard the horrid crying from
Probably
below
not.
of those trapped there in the dungeons with nowhere left to go. When I came to this country, it was a hopeful time of desperation.
Now my real name.
Flags flew.
I'll still call you Crafty or Kraftwerk.
But when the war began in Europe, we refused to die and kill. We refused
I mean, honestly, at least when it comes to like YouTube, I've always, that's kind of where I started my little persona anyway, so it's always been pretty much the same.
burn down our
It's actually taken like a few different iterations.
all across the land where there used to be four walls. When I came to this country, I had no great expectations, but I didn't think I'd end up back here awaiting deportation on a steamship on the Hudson.
My head's all wet. I don't want him near me now.
With 20,000
The Progressive Mag Dog days. Yeah, dude, the Progressive Mag Dog.
counting myself lucky.
I also had like a High King Doge to 12 or some shit too at one point, unironically.
That I first arrived when I came to this
Chocolate gravy? What the fuck is that?
when I came
What is
to
that?
this country.
Sounds awesome.
When I came to this country.
What, Lamau? Chocolate gravy, though. Did you jump that high on... What? High King Doge the Fourth? Did you jump on high... It's like, I mean, yeah, there's one point where I did jump on the Doge train, yes. Where I was just like, I'm gonna be High King Doge to 12 or some shit. So, yes, I was like that. Good on pancakes and waffles. Oh, so basically just like chocolate syrup, essentially. What the... I mean, I've had chocolate syrup. Unless it's like chocolate gravy is specifically a different thing.
50,000 lumberjacks, 50,000 50,000 packs, 50,000 dirty rolls of blankets on their backs, 50,000 minds made up to strike and strike like men. For 50 years they've packed to bed, but never will again. Such a lot.
Better we don't talk about that.
They say they go on strike for shorter hours and a raise in pay. They
Really?
the camps, the lazy tramps.
You're gonna drop that on us?
They say they'll win the strike or put the bosses on the
Ah! Stupid fucking.
50,000 restless men have left them once for all.
I saw a turn of that.
They dared not say the hours are much too long. But they bowed down because they're 50,000 strong. Such a lot of devils, that's what the papers say. They go on strike for
How's like a volume button get fucking like stuck? How does that even work?
They all walk out as one. They say they'll win the strike but put the bosses on the run.
Ticketed, Mr. Boss, fancy cozy rooms, 6 or 8 spin beds each, with towels, sheets, and brooms, shower bands and men at work for keeping well and fit. A laundry too and dry room will help a little bit. I'm guessing dishes, I can clean good pure food heeds. The dinner cook has help enough to keep the table neat. The chaperons for hours work, treat the boys like men, and empty piles of lumberjacks may come to work again.
Such a lot
The devils, and that's what the papers say. We're going to strike for short hours and had no raise in pay. They down the camps, the lazy tramps, they all like that as one. They say they'll win the strike or put their bosses on the bum. Play music from my plants to play a Dolly Parton and metal. Both are very respectable. What the fuck is the cop doing over there? Oh, he's eating out that rawhide. I remember now.
Would you have freedom from wage slavery and join in the grand industrial battle? Would you from misery and hunger be free and come do your share like a man? There is power in the band of working men when they stand.
Plants are sprouted wells, so it seems to be working.
That's a power that must
I actually had a potato from last year around like August or something that I planted in my front yard, and it's actually sprouting again. And it's just like, ooh! I'm actually kind of excited because I'm thinking about maybe replanting that in the backyard, and from there kind of maybe well, I don't know, I might just keep it in the front yard, honestly. Might, you know, from thinking about it, but just kind of like actually make it a little bit more of a establishable area. So I'm kind of seeing some of the leaves grow out of it a little bit. I'm like, you know, like in between some of the grass, so I'm thinking about if I could just kind of get to a little bit of the top layer of the soil and make it a little bit more like open and kind of spread it around a little bit. Probably do something with that. Make a little bit of potatoes. Starting off with one little potato. I don't think I've had potato candy. The Irishman can London where he eats it or waits for it to ferment and drink it. Why not a little both? Set some aside for, you know, for the good old drink, and set some, you know, for the food. From all you workers from every land, from calling the grand industrial band, and then your share of our shaking the band. You're gonna do your share like a man. There is power in the band of working folk. Understand? Hand in hand, there's a power, that's a power, it's a rule in every land. An industrial union grand. It's nifty. It's actually pretty fun, honestly. I really like, doing a lot of the, like, little small, like, either, I guess, heavy gardening or, like, light farming type of stuff, I guess. Because, I mean, it's a little small, obviously, but, I mean, it's something that I kind of actually want to do eventually in the future. Like, just have, like, a little plot of land and, have a little bit of crops, couple critters. Have Zukov and a Husky, maybe another, German Shepherd, for them all to kind of chill and hang out together and all that fun stuff. Maybe a little Husky girl and another, little Chevy boy or something. Or maybe 2 girls, and then Zukov doesn't have to compete with another dude. She'd be like, yeah, I got 2 bitches. He'd just be like, yeah, I'm swimming in it now. He's honestly starting to look pretty full grown. Honestly, now that I'm looking at him, he's actually fucking gotten way bigger. Now that I've actually, like, looked at him a little bit, he's actually starting to get real big. Husky Shepherd hybrid. Would that work? Yeah. German Shepherd Husky mixes? Of course. The fact that, I mean, honestly, the mixes of those breeds are so cute. Especially when they're puppies. Oh my goodness. Husky Chihuahua mix. Burn it. When the sun shall run, there could be no power greater anywhere beneath the sun. Then deserves the speaker. When we will strength of one, but the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Shepherd Shih Tzu mix? No. Let's get like a Saint Bernard and a Chihuahua. Let's go, fam. It's like why? It's like what the fuck. Let's get like a female Saint Bernard and a male Chihuahua and get them going together. That'll work. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever, for the union makes us strong. If we about the ferries and the cities where they trade, build the mines and build the set shops, and every ounce of railroad laid, and send the cast the starving, little wonders we have made, but the union makes us strong. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. For the union. Working music then. Union will give us better than that. I also like this iteration of this song too. It's by Tom Jurovich. Not an artist that's known that much, but he's actually a university professor. He's a U.S. labor activist, historian, and songwriter. I don't know what university, though, I will admit. I forgot what. It's not snowing in Milwaukee. Not where I'm at. It's raining like hard. It's raining hardcore. Yo, what the fuck? Damn, bro. I'm actually gonna respond to this and saying it's raining hardcore where I'm at. Greater than their hoarded gold, greater than the might of armies magnified 1,000-fold. We can bring to birth a new world from the ashes of the old, for the union makes us strong. It's almost snowed in Florida last night. Got down at 30 degrees and it was raining. Jeez. How's it snow in fucking Florida now that I'm thinking about? How's that? What? To both, I was given 10,000 years before the clouds of time. Whoa. I've existed in the years before time was born again to the ironic people like the starry stove that cooks the sweet dreams of the wilderness. Whoa. Whoa. 5 Deep ate me. Oh shit, Ignore has an official Reddit. Yeah, I have a Reddit account. Yeah!
Well, they say I get paid too much, don't produce enough, and I'm losing. Profits falling off, why they make good money off me. They're making money still. Why would you think they got the cash to go and move this bill? They're putting the blame on me. They're moving my job, who knows where? Putting the blame on me.
Many times the dog has had fur and I do not know what it means except that there are walls. I've been there before the ears of the car. Huh? 8 deep, 20 me, bro. 8 deep, 20 me. Put the blame on me. Putting the blame, putting where it should be. We don't run this place, and not all the workers like me. We're putting the blame, putting it where it should be. All the folks that want to run this place, and not all the workers like me. Sometimes I like to collect my own poetry. I kinda need to do some myself. I know one thing that, that is actually pretty tangential to, labor is not just song, but also poetry, too. Joe Hill, not just being an avenue songwriter, was kind of a, poet himself, too. In fact, his last will is a bit of poetry, too. It's actually in here, I can read it. Yeah, but but his last will, which is just in a poem, is my will's easy to decide, for there's nothing to divide. My kin don't need to fuss or moan. Moths don't cling to a rolling stone. My body, if I could choose, I would to ashes it reduce. It let the merry breezes blow my dust to where some flowers grow. Perhaps some fading flower then would come to life and bloom again. This my last and final will. Good luck to all of you, Joe Hill. It's pretty short and simple. Best ones I've read come from vets, which seems wild. You don't think soldiers are as poets. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of different poetry that comes out of soldiers that are actually pretty beautiful. Urological electrocution. PSAP. The study. I don't know. I don't even know what like urology is. It's the first time I've ever heard of it. Give to my job again. Good name for a band. Urological Execution. It actually does sound like a pretty good band name. So use it for something else. Urology is a branch of science dealing with the urinary tract. Ah! Big Bang Nervous Words are the next bandmates I'm using. I don't know what band name I'd use, but I know for like some sort of like metal or punk band name, I'd probably have like I don't know, like you know, actually I don't even know. Probably like Furiously Rabid or something. I don't know, something like that probably. Big Mouth will be Steve Albini, Stout, Amber Band. Nervous Words will be a post-punk band. So it's Shitology, the branch of science to deal with the chronologically track. I mean, it's called Scatology. Mozart was kind of into it. And a known troll. Actually, that would be proctology. Oh man. Jeez, I don't know. God, I know, jeez. The noise is sweet. You will leave by that glorious land in the sky, way up high, working brave. Live on, hey, live on, hey. You'll get by in the sky when you die, that's a lie. Astrology, the study of big booty bitches. I would be a absolute like master professor.
Let me tell you that you're on the drum. You will leave by in that beautiful land in the sky, way up high, working brave. Live on, hey, live on, hey. You're high in the sky when you die, that's a lie. We'll work hard for your children and your wife, or your husband. You do something good in this life. You're the sinner and the bad man they tell. And you'll die, you will sure go to hell. You will leave by and by in that beautiful land in the sky, way up high, working brave. Live on, hey, live on, hey. You're high in the sky when you die, that's a lie. Working folks of all nations unite. Side by side for freedom. We'll get to the bottom of this, yes we will. When this world and its wealth we have gained. We will get to the bottom of this bullshit. Scatology, astrology.
Proctology. Colonoscopytology. Who knows?
That's no lie.
Now something to drink. Boo. Knew I should have grabbed some tea. I was tempted to, but couldn't find any. Kind of tempted to see if it actually is snowing outside now at this point. But part of me knows that it probably ain't. Because at least it was just like snowing, raining hardcore. I'm actually just gonna look it up right now on the weather. On weather? What's on the weather channel? I mean, it's 37 degrees where I'm at, so it's just like, honestly, there ain't no way in hell it's gonna be fucking snowing. I mean, evidently it is around everywhere else, but not where I'm gonna be at. About the same elevation. Yeah, it says I'm gonna have rain up until 4 a.m. But it's melting. Well, yeah, it's too hot. I mean, for what it says for me, it's like 38 degrees, 37 degrees, and it's raining. Apparently it's gonna be snowing from 5 a.m. to like 10 a.m., but I highly doubt that. Isaac Fig Newtons, and the other half are Olivia Fig Newtons. No, honestly, probably not. I mean, Fig Newtons are already pretty good as they are. I mean, I'm down with them. I like them. In fact, I kind of want some now. Now you just said it.
But something started happening. Oh, I know I felt a change. Then they got those new machines. Nothing was ever the same. John Reed was upstairs now, and his promise he forgot.
The last attack. I mean, it's just gonna be a good chunk of the fucking country just gonna be like, what is this woke agenda? Like, it's just gonna be seen more as, like, you know, corporate pandering, honestly. So it's like, I mean, it's not really much of a point. Outside of basically looking like, you know, trying to do something that would be considered like the culture war bullshit or whatever the fuck. I mean, the Isaac Newton thing, maybe not, but like, there's already, I can already tell there's gonna be like, you know, a good chunk, you know, of the population of Fox News already making segments left and right because there's like a female just that virtual on. Would Stevia become more mainstream if the name Stevia next? I doubt it. Put the cap on there when I'm sick of it. Love calling them Fig Newmans after parent gender Seinfeld mailman. Yeah, fuck with the Fox News hosts. Do it. You know, honestly, it's just like, just to do that, I'm okay with it. Like, I mean, really, I don't really care one way or the other. I mean, if they're not changing anything about, like, the Fig Newtons themselves or whatever the fuck, you know, it's like, okay. I'm fine with it. I don't know about you, but I won't be moved in my union, say to stay. Oh, I won't let them break my union. I won't let them bust my life. I think he always has to be around the corner where I can't see him when he's chewing up whatever the hell he's chewing up. Wait, there aren't going to be any more figs? No, there's still Fig Newtons. I'm just saying, unless they change them, like change the recipe of how they make them or something. I can't think of New Moon without think of Jambalaya. Damn. What time is it anyway? Oh god, it's already 2:30. Jesus Christ. Just thinking and realizing I have to fucking like be at work at like fucking 11 in the morning. Oof. Definitely gonna have to deal with that bullshit to some extent. Wayne Knight's pangender. I don't know, but I'm just gonna assume yes. Sounds like some Fox would just make up just to make their viewers wet. I believe it. I already feel like they're already cooking it up. They're gonna drop it like, you know, within 3 months' time. They're gonna, you know, it's gonna be on their agenda, dude. It's like that's all they got now is culture war bullshit. So they're just gonna, you know, they're like, all right, we'll drop this bullshit, you know, this time of the year, and we'll drop this thing at this time of the year. We don't got nothing else, but we could stir up enough people if we, you know, play our cards right and launch them at the right time. So it's like, I already feel it, dude. They probably got some shit cooking up. If it ain't Wayne Knight, it's gonna be somebody else, dude. They're gonna be like, pangender? So do they identify as like the frying pan in my kitchen? Oh! Yeah, Tucker Carlson would absolutely make a joke like that. For DeSantis. Well, because he's Trump without all the baggage. So it works well for Fox. Getting excited grosses me out, lol. It does kind of gross me out. The Magateers would be glorious. I wouldn't necessarily count it out, dude. Like, the Dems they ain't got nothing on them right now, honestly. There's just, like, I mean, considering how, like, so much of our fucking political establishment is basically treated as a goddamn fucking, like, football, you know, field back and forth, it's just like, oh god. No chance on a national stage, though. Like, maybe to, like, you know, the Dems or most of the regular establishment, but I mean, when it comes down to the fucking, you know, his base and a lot of the fucking, like, Trumpian, like, GOP Republican voter base, I mean, I don't know. I mean, everyone says, like, oh, Trump was, you know, never going to be able to make it, but then in 2016, he kind of did. So it's like, I don't know, I'm not 100%, you know, too sure if they're, you know, willing to, yeah, if, you know, it's like they're willing to just, like, I want to give up on Lord Trump. I mean, at least a good chunk of, yeah, there's still a good chunk of the GOP that's still in favor of him, yeah. But a lot of them have secondaries, and a lot of them are probably thinking DeSantis as a secondary kind of guy, but I mean, I'm also not a part of these weird fucking, like, you know, like think tanks or whatever the fuck, you know, when thinking about the shit, so I don't know what the fuck they're thinking about. But I would imagine that, like, it would probably either be Trump or DeSantis that would probably get close. Does that mean they're gonna make it? I don't know. Depends on what happens if, you know, this literal do-nothing administration. So, like, honestly, if they actually, like, or do something that's worth the fuck, or if they don't. Because just extending the student loan debt really isn't gonna, that ain't gonna last long. Maybe this all turn it over to the pastor like good little sheep. Probably. Nature shadow over my poor hill. What happened to his hill? Oh my god, dude! Rip City's fucking gotten, like, snow up the fucking ass. Hold on, I'm actually gonna go outside now. I wanna see. I'm gonna go peek outside real quick. Hey, baby. Come on. Whoa! What the fuck? Well, it is now, but it ain't sure shit ain't worth going out there to check it out, though. It's like rain, snow, and the ground is nothing but utter slush and gross and ugh. You want snow? You can't handle the snow. It's not even like qualified in my mind. It's like, ugh, lame, boo. Like, I'm looking out there and I'm like, that looks miserable. I got a customer last Tuesday on Trump. Super sudden, they would love Trump. I did word association with him. You hit him with Yankee real estate developer, trust fund, liberal college, and he hated it. Didn't remind him Trump. That fit all the terms, blew his mind. Whoa! Damn, bro. Probably blew his mind, and then he went to now mode and went like, what? No, that's my bullshit. Guaranteed. He's like, that's a bunch of bullshit. Fake news, you're liberal. Damn commie. Bunch of bullshit. Tell you what. But, oh my goodness. Part of me's debating if I want to say fucking just keep going, but I have work at 11 in the goddamn morning. You know what? I have such a strong suspicion that the closer that's supposed to fucking show up is not going to and is going to call in. And which means that I'm going to fucking close, so that means I'm probably not going to do mid shift now that I'm fucking realizing it. I have work at 9, lol. What are you doing? Well, you know what? Whatever. You know what? It's just like solidarity, I guess, right there. But man, I hate honestly being in this weird limbo where I honestly really deadass don't fucking know if I'm gonna be like closing or if like I'm gonna be doing the mid. Like I really don't. I hate that shit. And I also hate that I have to fucking take a piss again. God damn it. Ugh. Boo. Hold on. Well, I guess I am going to go outside and check it out a little more. But gross. Ugh. I'm definitely not going to be out there for too long. But I'll see how hard the snow's really coming down, though. But here, I'll be right back. But the bladder must have its addressal.
10,000 yuppies just moved here. 10,000 others came last year. The rent has doubled since I moved in. Each month I take it on the chin. Each month I wonder how many more can I stay in Portland before I move into my car or end up somewhere behind bars. 10,000 yuppies say don't complain now that the city is in the fast lane. It's just the market and it knows best. That's how the bankers built the West. So just get rich and you can stay. Otherwise just go away. There's no room here for us holding on under the bus. I'm just a renter. This ain't my town. Might as well just burn it down for all I care. 10,000 yuppies think it's great to invest in Portland real estate. In Portland, they like to say, but that was old yesterday.
Man, it is actually fucking like the snow's coming in and just like the snow's like, yo, what's up? Boom! The snow's coming in just like, yo, fucking rampaging and shit, bro. And it's actually fucking cold, and I can hear the wind like thousands of feet up going. So it's just like it's going intense out there. I think this is making me want to confirm where I want to be, which is my room, which has a heater. So, oh.
They like TED Talks. They like Creed. They like wine bars. They like weed. They like bike lanes. They want more. They're the face of the new class war. I'm just a renter.
I'm not ready to go.
Might as well just burn it down here.
Sweet baby. Man, he's looking like a big, bulky chunk boy. He's got like some hunk, like shoulders and a thick neck. He's starting to really like beef up. This is one advantage to Florida. I don't even have a heater. Half the year I open windows here, half the year I close them. I normally like the cold, but I'm not exactly wearing, like, I'm not exactly wearing clothes appropriate for this weather at the moment, because I did not expect this. I actually did not expect it to be like this, so, like, I'm also just wearing some basketball shorts underneath my pants, which is in between, you know, like, the pants and the undergarments, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's like, normally in the winter, I have like 4 fucking layers in like each direction. So now I don't as much, so now I'm like, your clothes are a lot more appropriate than mine, and I'm freezing my balls! I'm wearing a short sleeve under my jackets. Like, there ain't no way this is appropriate. What are you talking? I got like 2 light jackets and a wool coat. Like, in the wool is like the only thing that actually will keep warmth. I was wearing a dinky hoodie and a rain jacket. Yeah, this is like, I wasn't even wearing a hoodie up until later when it started raining on my lunch, and I, you know, whipped this on, you know, during that. But other than that, I had everything else on, and then now it's raining. It's like, I would be wearing some, like, extra shit today, you know, if it was, like, this cold. Like, goddamn, like, winter came back. It's like, winter's like, yo, here, let me fuck your ass a little good here real quick before I leave. It's like, God, yo, where did this come from? I didn't want this. Did I consent? No. Boo. It was cold as hell today. Dude, it's cold as hell in America. Why is hell freezing over in America? What's going on? It was 75 a couple days ago. What the fuck? I know! Like, I'm wearing shit, like, thinking it's gonna be 75 or something, you know, because that's what I've been thinking. It's what it's like, so I've been prepping. Because it's hell, lol. Well, I mean, it's more of a rhetorical. But, oh my god. I'm gonna have to just toke it out. You know, just forget the woes of that bullshit. Ay. Oi. Dios mío. But, yeah. Well, I'm gonna have to smoke this last little tug. I would honestly like to kind of chill longer, but just for the sake of the stupid bullshit of the unreliability of a coworker, I should probably just make sure that, you know, I get prepped for the mid, but expect not to do it. And if that's the case, then, hey, we get a morning stream. Where I'm all groggy like, the fuck do you want? Where you just get me in my more primal shaved ape state. So, you know, hey. That'll be something. Hopefully this isn't as bad as that one February. And it's April. So, damn, we might get something. Plan for the best, expect the worst. Yeah, that's pretty much the idea. Bonus morning stream. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that'd be the idea. When the characters in my little, crafty, does that count as dressage? Huh? Yes? Hold on, I'm smelling something real quick. Doing this real quick. Damn, you read it. Mitt Romney's favorite sport. The horse dancing thing. Oh. I'm not... I don't know anything about the show, so I have no clue. Okay, not crazy, but weird. I haven't heard that word in a decade. Do people still do that? The person who was referring to that is a brony, so I don't know. I'm not one, so I have no idea what the fuck type of thing they got going on. But I only know of that of what furries do, and we're a totally different fucking realm. We're in a different reality, different dimension. So it's like I couldn't tell you. Don't know. I'm assuming something about, like, the Princess Sparkles, and then, like, the Princess Luna, and then the fucking, like, Pony Bay, or whatever the fuck. I don't know what their names are. Like, I don't know what their damn names are. The Snack Crapple Applejack Pop, or whatever the fuck, It's, like, basically the one only stallion. I don't know. Like, I don't know any of it. I don't care. I mean, it's not my thing. Don't wish it to be. Don't care for it to be. If it is, you do you, boo. I don't care. It's like, I don't know. I've seen many things I wish to not see, but yet cannot unsee on E621, and let me just, it's the things, man. You just can't see it. It's all like flashing before my eyes right now. It's just reinforcing the trauma. I'm gonna smoke this bowl and just rethink my life now, knowing that people are okay. Never mind. Oh god, now I'm really reflecting. Palate cleansing needed. Well, that's why we got weed, because that's the palate cleanser. That's kind of an issue. I kind of, need to hit it, but if I can't actually, like, suck it, I can't hit it. I should have rethought that sentence there. Really should have rethought that sentence there. Whoa. Okay, whoa. That was my speedball. Yep. It almost 1 o'clock again, so I just fucking had to, like, really suck. And, that got the mission accomplished. Saliva glands, goddamn. Saliva glands. Overstimulated. Boo. Okay, there we go. Decided to get the breath in there. That's the cure. But that's still gonna happen. But good tunes, and that was seriously good fucking talk. Jesus Christ. Especially after a clean bong, I just fucking clean last night. Man, it's probably like one of the more cleaner tokes I've had in a while. It's one thing to just change the water, but like the fucking like deep clean that bitch. God damn, it's like a new experience right there. God, I got so many tacos in there that I'm just gonna smack the fuck out of it right about now. So I'm gonna do that, and hopefully have a bonus stream for the morning. But if not, then that just means I did do that shift. But I have a stream a little earlier in the evening to boot. So either way, I'll be back around for the next one tomorrow. So peace out, and I shall see y'all for the next one. So I hope you're joining me on this good planet of Jupiter. High as we fucking are.